Good morning and welcome to the last of the Star Wars Saturdays series for 2018. Star Wars Saturdays is a living campaign that I have been running for now officially a year because it started in December of 2017. And Star Wars Saturdays is this concept of, hey, why don't we play lots of different RPGs but set in Star Wars? Because everybody loves Star Wars, and by everybody I mean me, and luckily it's been turned out to be dozens of other amazing gamers. This is part of the Gauntlet community. The Gauntlet is a worldwide, thousands or so strong group of friends, fans, and aficionados of small press and OSR RPGs. You won't be finding any Pathfinder here. I'm sorry. Actually, no D&D 5th Ed. So all that popular stuff, like popular within the small Venn diagram of like, we just play stuff that is small book and generally story game oriented stuff, as well as some OSR. And with Star Wars Saturdays every month, there's a new game system that we'll be using, usually a completely different cast of characters. So the players will shuffle around, but I'm still here. And we are playing Impulse Drive. Impulse Drive is a Powered by the Apocalypse game about misfits and space folk inspired by media like Firefly, the video game series Mass Effect, as well as Farscape, my personal favorite sci-fi TV show of all time, which I might be getting under the Christmas tree this year. I'm just saying. I have a line called Amazon emails that tells me that I might be getting that. I'm very excited, people. Very excited. And so Impulse Drive, sorry for that tangent about Farscape, because there's no way that I could do Star Wars Farscape, but if I could. Anyway, sorry, back to Star Wars. Impulse Drive is written by Adrian Toon. It was recently kickstarted. And if you're interested in it, you can go onto DriveThruRPG right now and download it free of charge. The big shiny book is coming out soon as part of that Kickstarter. I'm very excited to have one in my greedy, chubby hands. But for now, we are using the PDFs. 3.8 is the version of the game that we are currently playing. I've modified some of the playbook names and a few of the things to tweak it from the more generic space opera setting that is the default of Impulse Drive, very flexible system, to make it Star Warsified. And that is what we have been playing. This is the third session of 3. So this is it. It's all on the table. Everyone's all in. This is the moment of Texas Hold'em when you push all your chips forward and you stand up and you start sweating profusely because you could walk away with a lot of credits, or you might not walk away at all. Our crew of the Nerf Herder, which is a way too small tramp freighter for the number of people on the crew, plus their one passenger, have been flying from Rutan, which is the place where they got their job as smugglers, and they have been flying up the Hydian Way towards Eriadu. And this is the job that they accepted that was kind of foisted upon them by Commander Daz Tafir. And so you guys have been heading up the Hydian Way with this crate that you were told expressly not to open. You've circumvented those instructions by having a passenger who happens to be a bounty hunter by the name of Ricky Ooze. Ricky Ooze is a Trandoshan, and she didn't sign any NDAs. Screw that. So she has spliced into the crate to open it up, and that is the cliffhanger we had from last session. Was the crate kind of cracking open, these pressure, steam coming out, because that's what you do, like to make it all dramatic. And so that's the moment we left up to. But I want to remind us of the characters that are here on the crew. So what I'd like for each of you to do is just give like a 1-sentence introduction of your character, and then remind us of a couple hooks that you would like to kind of push forward and definitely have on the table here for us to all play with as we play this last session. Okay? Sabine, I'm going to start with you. So please remind us, who are you playing and what are a couple of hooks that are important to you?
I'm playing CG5713, who's called Quake. He's an old clone soldier, clone trooper. The hooks I'd like for him to see is the whole Jedi thing, him protecting the Jedi, which he wants to do, and also the whole relationship with Val, who he views as his daughter, and also sticking it to the Empire. That's important.
Indeed, we will focus on all of those. That little nuclear family of the three of you has been a delight so far. Jason, please remind us, who is it that you are playing?
I'm playing Ariadna, who is bearing the obligatory apostrophe in her name. She's an Umbaran thief and is with the crew because she's generally good at getting her way. And the hooks I'd like to focus on is that she and Val share a secret that shouldn't be given up. And the and that Zop is as devious as I am. I'll have to see. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Jason. I appreciate that. Greg, if you could please remind us of your character.
I'm playing Zop Books. He's a Rhodian bounty hunter. Sort of a fancy bounty hunter. We thus left him in the engine room with Booza, and a discovery that maybe Zop sees a little bit more in Booza than Booza realized. I definitely want to focus on that a little bit. And I want to focus on, I added a hook. Quake also sees the danger that the Trandoshan represents.
So now Ricky Hughes has to be dangerous. I like it because she wasn't earlier. She's just, he's loving. Wait, no. I've watched the previous session. I think she was a little dangerous. Thank you, Greg. David, please remind us of your character. Yeah, sorry, the mute button's a heck of a thing. Are you on like an iPad? Those are really hard to unmute.
Hello. Okay.
There we go. Gotcha.
All right. So Booza's Jedi, kind of in hiding, but kind of feeling empowered to let that slip more recently. He's really feeling a connection more with Val. Like Val is coming into her own more as maybe a hero. And also feels that there's a stronger connection with Zop, the bounty hunter, and maybe it can steer Zop away from a life of crime.
Interesting. We shall see how that goes. Thank you. Last but not least, Bethany, please remind us of your character, our captain. Oh, captain.
Yeah, so Val is the kind of owner of this ship, except that, like, not really. I have, let's see, I've got a bunch of hooks here. I have a feeling that one is that's going to come up as I can't resist engaging in a complex deception when the truth would work perfectly well. Ariadna is so cool. She makes me wonder if I'm really cut out for this. And Quake and I have seen everything together. We're closer than family. Nothing will pull us apart.
Awesome. So obviously I need to find a way to pull you guys apart. That's all that I can hope to do in the next 3 hours. So we will go right to the cliffhangery moment with the crate opening up with Quake after warning off Ricky Ooze, who reminded him about the claw mark on Quake's armor there and how Ricky Ooze could have held your heart. And maybe Ricky Ooze meant that in a different way than you thought for a moment, or at least that's what the audience hears. Not that like Clone and Transition have ever gotten together or anything. And so the crate opens up and kind of a couple of the pieces fold back. And inside, I'm going to do a bit of a screen share here so that you guys can all see it in its glory. You see a disassembled robot, and I say robot, not droid, and we'll talk about it in just a moment, but it is very obviously high grade military spec robot, and it is known as Project Rock Stomper. And the thing is inert at this time, but when you look upon it, as I stop screen sharing, thank you, I hit the stop button finally. So as you look upon this thing, there is a small data crystal that is also located inside, which has the manifest information, and it looks like it is coded to let's see, the Commander Charger, who is the lady that you are supposed to deliver this to, Lieutenant Commander Sylvia Charger. And you see the Rock Stomper it would stand about, let's see, about 3 meters tall. Look at that, I did meters for you, Sabine. It's hard for me. And also it's what I wrote down ahead of time. 3 meter
Very
tall. Good. Thank you. And it's got 2 massive legs. It's not an ATST style. This is a thing that could easily travel up through what was built for people or human-sized things. But the armament and armor on this thing makes it you see it. You fought droids that were not quite as tough as this. This would be a heck of a thing. I'm thinking along the lines of, do you remember in the prequels where they had those particular droids that had the 2 lasers they shot like that, and they would pop up those little shields?
Yes, the ones that could roll.
Yes, something similar to that.
Yeah, that actually reminded me of those. Yes.
Cool. And Ricky Ooze sees that. Oh, yes, droid deck is nice.
Because, yes.
DMK for the win. And Ricky Ooze says, this looks very expensive.
Oh. This looks very dangerous. The Empire hasn't used those battle droids before. Wonder what they are planning.
She steps over onto a piece of the crate and kind of walks around it. She's not like, I don't know if you guys have looked at the picture that I have in the NPCs tab for Riku's, but she's kind of lean. Like, she's more limber. That most transition are kind of thick, and they don't have their joints don't bend a whole lot, but she's pretty agile. She kind of moves around it and checks a few pieces.
Don't activate it.
Of course not. Not a fool. She hisses up at you, and the tongue kind of sniffs a bit.
That's debatable.
So, what do you want to do, Quake?
I think Val and I think the others need to know about this.
Nice. Cool. So, do you say that out loud, like for Ricky Ooze? Okay, cool.
Yeah, I say it out loud for Ricky Ooze, and then I'll go over to the comm. And I think we have a comm system that I can use to just address the whole ship, or I could just shout because it's a small ship, but I like the comm idea. So I say, hey, everybody, we should meet up in the mess room, well, wherever. Let's meet up. I got something to tell you.
Nice. So you deliver that message, but before we'll cut to Val. Val, when you hear that message from Quake, where on the ship were you?
I was already looking for Quake.
There you go. Cool.
I wanted to talk to him about this whole, like, the Trandoshan is on our side now, we think, maybe. And also we're working for the Empire, which I think Quake would probably, I expect Quake to have a problem with.
Yeah. All right. Well, yeah, you come down as Quake is going over the comms and telling everybody we need to meet up in the mess hall.
Yeah.
And yeah, Ricky Ooze, she like looks up at you coming down the ladder. She's kind of hunkered over this big. Imagine if from the picture, like if it just kind of drops down and then the arms pop out, so you could pop a couple buttons, this thing would stand up and it would be fully operational. So, do we want to kind of scene wipe, little Lucas style scene wipe of you guys
Yeah.
in the mess hall? Awesome. And so we come in, and somehow 404 is up on the table, and he's like got a little tea kettle, and I think that 404 might be making some noise as he is offering drinks to people.
Hey, we have a special effects budget.
Yes.
That's fantastic.
Oh, I feel like Buza would be like kind of you know, like how there's that hologram scene Leia with R2D2, like he's doing something similar, but instead of implanting secret battle station plans, he's updating 404 with a recipe that he found on the planet on Rutan, and he's like, 404, you're our only chef.
What is 404's reaction, Craig? Never getting tired of that. Sweet. So the five of you, along with Ricky Ooze, are seated around the I assume Ricky would probably be walking, right? Because there's not enough. You're seated around a table, right? It's kind of imagining benches on either side of this kind of picnic table type deal that's bolted into the wall. And Ricky puts the data crystal down in the middle.
Craig is still standing, and he will address everybody and says, "Hey, so the crate, you remember that crate we were transporting? I think it kind of got opened up, and we found sort of a droidica in there. That's the data crystal. And I can say that I'm not very happy with transporting something like that for the Empire. And I'm not happy for the Empire to have this because these things are quite a pain."
Yeah, and I have to wonder what they're gonna do with that. I mean,
Kill people.
You know, kill people. That's what they do, but
That's what it's for.
yeah, but like, you know, where, and who, and yeah, I don't know. I'm not a fan of this either.
So I think Zop has been sort of holding back away from the table and just goes, "Itsuta, truba, stupa," and is just laying in because what are we doing? We promised not to open the crate. Now we've opened the crate. Listen, I don't want to be the Imperials may not be my favorite people in the world either, but now we're on their bad side,
Yeah.
and we're flying towards a blockade of them or whatever it is around this planet to deliver this thing. What were you thinking?
Yeah, and another question: why did they need us to deliver this?
It's a good question.
I don't.
I mean, it's not like this is actually illegal.
Right.
This
I mean,
the
it's their
Empire.
planet. They're gonna let Imperial equipment through. So why do they need smugglers for this thing?
Is it Imperial?
That's a great question. So none of the markings on the Rock Stomper are Imperial markings. This isn't on any, like, you guys haven't heard of this on any kind of battlefield. This is some kind of weird prototype.
True to my my a little bit method, so Arianya shows up in like robe and like these kind of like shaded glasses because it's always too bright for an Umbaran, you know, like even on the ship it's like, oh, can we turn these down? Clearly just woken up. Fortunately, she's very bald and doesn't have to worry about doing her hair.
But her wig is askew, right?
No. Yeah, kind of comes in and is definitely looking a little sleepy. Well, so,
Ouch.
Zop, here's the 5 credits I owe you. I told you somebody. I didn't think somebody would open it, but I was wrong. But I mean, this type of thing would also serve as a deterrent. I think if this was parked outside somebody's home, I would certainly think twice about making an incursion. Who exactly are we delivering to?
Sylvia Charger, I think her name is, Imperial officer.
And how much do we know about her?
She's an Imperial officer.
Well,
That's what okay, I don't know anything else.
That's all I know too.
So, if we were to put ourselves into the place of the Empire, and this is a prototype, where do we feel that they would then test and deploy the final version of this? Where would be strategic for them?
You would want to deploy it in an out-of-the-way place where the probability of winning is already very high, and this device wouldn't necessarily tip the balance.
Where things could go wrong without them being embarrassed, hugely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Finally, someone's.
They've made exceptions for that, though.
So is there a way that we can deliver, but maybe their plan doesn't go as well as expected, and they abandoned this model of military?
You're thinking sabotage. I like it.
Yeah.
It's just a suggestion.
It's a good suggestion.
Another thought I had, maybe this isn't Empire versus somebody else. Maybe this is Empire versus Empire, some kind of insurrection in the ranks. That would explain the secrecy.
And would be entertaining to watch.
Yeah, it depends on who gets grown up in the whole process. So.
I suppose it's possible.
To find out. Sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I think we do need to find out more about this Commander Charger. If she's going to use this to try to pull off some coup, I think I'm fine with giving her the droid or weapon, whatever. But if it's just a prototype to test, I'm all for hacking it.
Well, Ricky Ooze at this point has tried to remain quiet, though she's pacing back and forth. Will say, Commander Tafir wants promotion badly. He's working against the Senali, the Moonies. I bet he wants this prototype to be used against them in this proxy war.
Yeah, that seems likely.
Why are we flying the prototype away from Rutan and Senali then?
Oh, out of character, Ariadu is the moon around?
No, out of character, Ariadu is a major hub of 3 different trade routes. It's a very, very populous planet, and it's controlled by the Galactic Empire, as well as the home of Grand Moff Tarkin and his family.
And so this isn't in the same system as the
no. It's okay. Yeah, it's several days travel from up the highway from Rutan and Senali.
Okay, sorry.
No, it's okay. It's a good question. Also, if you wanted to kind of have, I'm sorry, I just want to finish this thought. If you check on the galaxy maps, which is one of the green colored tabs, you can find Rutan is around L20 and Ariadu is around N18. It's literally like Hiding Way, Rima Trade Route, and the Lipsic Run all converge or pass through Ariadne. Sorry, and I interrupted somebody. I apologize.
Ooh, slice. Zop wants to know who's going to slice and kind of meaningfully is looking at 404 and thinking about replacing the robot
I feel
brain
like
with 404.
I feel like 404, like, you know, like how R2 has those little like tools, like a tool thing comes up and like a veggie slicer option pops out.
So embarrassing.
404 gets excited.
I don't know if he's up to it, but these Astromechs, I've seen Astromechs do amazing things, so maybe it's not a bad idea. Unless any one of you is a good slicer. I'm not.
I would like to offer my services as, and it's like, almost like not used to saying it aloud, especially in front of new people, as a Jedi.
So you said the J word?
Yeah, in front of our new crewmate.
Yeah, I love that. Now she's a crewmate. So she
and
peers at you
and reach into the Force to see what we can find.
Oh, that sounds lovely. Let us do that thing, and that is the best thing. So Booza, let's see. Do you have any specific? No.
So I'm gonna use the scrying move.
Okay, cool.
All right.
All right, so let's take a look at that one real quick here. Under the Jedi, scrying. When you take time to perform the ritual of prophecy, say whose future you wish to scry, offer up something linked to them, and roll plus alien. Weird. This is a weird move, but I like it.
It is. I feel like for Booza, he hasn't really done this for a while. He's like, I will need to meditate. I will need to go to a peaceful place. And so he's like, I will be going to the engine room. If you wish to join me, I hope that you like Outer Rim opera.
Sorry, my connection stuttered for a second. So the Jedi is meditating on like a plan for moving forward, or meditating on like slicing into the electronics?
Moving forward.
Okay.
We can do the slicing and we can do this. They don't have to be exclusive.
You're saying I'm going to do forcey stuff. You're not saying I'm going to slice it. Is our infiltrator the person who's going to volunteer up to do some slicing?
Well, I wanted to ask about that because I've got 5 XP, and I was hoping to purchase the hacking and cracking move.
Do it.
From
this is
before.
Perfect timing.
Yes.
So I'm going to take that, and I don't know where to note it on the spreadsheet here, but
oh, don't worry. I can grab the move and copy it in for you.
Okay.
That was underneath the
I have the
infiltrator.
PDF open. Yeah, infiltrator move, hacking and cracking.
And which we've renamed slicing and dicing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Hacking and cracking just makes me think of the song from Fallout. Hacking up the meat. What's that guy? Anyway, it doesn't matter.
My son could probably sing the lyrics for you, but I unfortunately don't know it. Slicing and dicing is now underneath Arianya on the spreadsheet, so it's good to go. That is a move that when you use it, you're discharging it.
Mm-hmm.
When you attempt to slice, break into, open, or otherwise compromise a locker security system, discharge this move and roll plus slick.
I like to think fiction-wise that she hasn't been able to use this because her like slicing kit has been downloading this enormous update, and all the like days long, and like finally it's like, oh my god, it's finally done. I can actually help.
You like pull out. I imagine. Oh, how do you imagine your slicing kit looking like? What do you imagine that Arianya carries?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think she's got it's kind of like a van brace, like a big arm cuff, and you can pull like cables and connectors and things out of it, and then she can kind of type one-handed.
So it's like a mechanical version 0.1 Omni tool. I love it. That's
yes,
dope.
yes, yeah. It's a Star Wars Omni tool.
Yes.
So if that works,
I mean, is there anything specifically like Umbaran about it, or is it something you picked up off the black market?
Well, I think it's Umbaran in that the screen it's all in like UV and just a little bit above UV, and so other people looking at it are like, "What are you even typing on? Like that's just a blank screen."
Nice.
Or a black light, basically. So
I love it. And I think Ricky Hughes looks over like a little jealous of your dope looking slicing kit because she's just got like the Radio Shack version. That's the only thing that's modified or special about her slicing kit is that it's made for really big fingers.
Yeah.
And I think Zop is in the cargo hold. Would like to be in the engine room with Booza because the Outer Rim Opera and the meditation, but wants to keep an eye on Ricky.
Nice.
I will go with Booza to the engine room just to guard his back. Because,
okay, cool.
Booza was going to ask Quake to go with him, anyways. Yeah, that's awesome.
So Booza, Zop, Booza, Zop, and Quake are all going to the engine room, or is Zop sticking around? Zop's sticking around because keeping an eye on Ricky Ooze while Arianya is slicing. And Val, where are you at?
I am checking out maps, looking for a possible alternate place to go.
Nice, cool. Because I have a thing for Val. We'll throw that in just a moment here. But let's go ahead and do our slicing and dicing maneuver with Ricky watching. Not really throwing in advice, just watching. Right, roll plus slick.
Right. Okay. Wrong window. There we go.
Is there any way I can lean on to?
Oh, you 100% can. What does it look like?
So Zop has done some hacking with Arianya before, and I think they have sort of a shorthand. So Zop is sort of like. Yeah, maybe there's like really one long wire out of the hacking thing and it has to be moved in certain time periods. So Zop is like on top of the big robot droid thing, moving the cable around. Well, one eye is sort of watching Ricky out of the corner.
Yeah, that's great. That's like first edition Shadowrun stuff.
So good.
Yeah. Okay, so I got to roll plus slick.
Well, actually, let's go ahead and have Zop roll plus stalwart because that could give you the potentiality of a easier roll.
Here we go. Oh, that's a 5.
Good. That is great. Amazing. So go ahead and roll your slicing and dicing. You get no help from Zop.
Okay.
I get to choose only one.
Oh crap! That's right. I forgot that
he get to choose one. So I'm going to give them advantage, but yeah, it probably if things go poorly, not going to go well for me.
Oh no, you're going to get blown off that thing. Reroll selected. Okay. Awesome. So that's my highest 2 is a 5 and a 4 plus 2 slick, I think. 11.
You are built for this. That is amazing. So you're going to break in with minimal fuss. Choose one. It's going to take a while to get in. You'll have to trigger an alarm or alert in order to get what you want, or you'll have to leave traces of your incursion behind that will incriminate you. And imagine this is a little data crystal, right? It kind of looks like a clear crystal of some kind. It's got a few markings on it that would indicate the original owner.
Yeah, I think, given the time that we can go slow, be careful, do each algorithm one at a time, wait to see the results. I think it takes a while. It takes a little longer than we thought it would.
So you're working painstakingly. Zop, you're kind of looming over her a little bit, trying to help Arianya out. And finally, Ricky, who's just been like hovering around the edges, she grabs you by the shoulder and she pulls you forcefully back. She's like, You're crowding her, stupid Rhodian. And then she leans down and does that deep. What do you do?
I will I will push back on Ricky. We're like, we have done this hundreds of times before. We did it just fine without any of your help. Now go over there by those crates and stop interfering.
And she grabs you, and her hand's big enough to where it goes around the neck and the collar, and she grabs and she shoves you up into the bulkhead. And she hasn't like tried to crack your neck or anything. It's just one of those like, I am forcefully throwing you against the bulkhead. Val, you hear this, and Arianya, you're in the zone, but you know, oh, this guy's they're like hugging or something behind you, and she just leans in and she says, The scorekeeper likes Rhodian belts.
Your scorekeeper is not good. And I mean, if we want to roll, like I'm kind of a little altercation here.
It feels altercatey. Yeah, sure. Yeah. If you want to throw down here, bounty hunter, since you're pretty volatile.
I think I'm going for like a pressure point. Like maybe
nice.
I've fought a tradition before. There's like a pressure point maybe in their armpit or something that kind of makes them reel back in pain.
Nice. Cool. So I think she's not like in a full-on fight as much as just trying to dominate you. So I'd like to see you keep your cool here. Unless you're like, if you want to use this to like fight, if you want to get into a fight, then we'll go into firefight. If you're just trying to hit a pressure point and de-escalate the situation, I'll let you keep your cool. Your choice.
I'm trying to de-escalate it a little bit.
All right.
Maybe there's a little bit of booza in the back of my head thinking, don't, not here, not now, Zop.
Nice.
That's plus calculating?
It is for keep your cool. It's roll plus stalwart.
Stalwart. Still a 0. Okay. There we go. That's a 7.
That's a 7. Oh, but don't forget that you marked that XP, right? You marked an XP for that fail on helping.
I will now.
Okay, cool. Cool. So with a 7 on keeping your cool, you do it, but you have to choose one. You have disadvantage going forward, which will be on your next roll. You suffer 1 stress. Highly encourage stress. Or you give up something, leave something behind, or take something with you. The Space Master, that's me, will say what?
I'll take the stress.
All right, cool. So go ahead and mark the stress. And it turns out there is a particular part that causes her to shrink back for a little bit. I don't think it knocks her out per se as much as a pressure point that causes her to release. And she steps back, rubbing her hand where you've wrapped it. She hisses and scowls at you. And Arianya, you keep working because you're good at this. So I'm going to bounce over to Val. Val, you get a little bloop on your comm link, which is tied to the satellite communications array, that there's an incoming call. It's bouncing through the hyperspace relay.
Yeah, okay. I'll open it.
Cool. Where do you imagine you'd take the call?
I think I'm in like the cockpit and just I've kind of been like scrolling through like options, in case things go bad. Where can we disappear to?
Yeah, cool. So yeah, you're in there, you're checking out places where you guys could dump off. There's a bunch of places to run and hide, of course. It's space. You see the countdown that you guys are currently about 4 hours away from Ariadu, and the relay comes through, and you see the blue, like hollow of an Ithorian, and it is none other than Moza, your old boss, and he rumbles. Val.
Hey, Moza.
You left Rutan. Why did you not take the package?
kind of had something come up.
That was very
If this
important.
goes well, we can come back and do your run for you. But yeah, we had to leave in a hurry.
So now they will move with or without the cargo that I promised them. They will be slaughtered.
When
I can try to delay them until the morning. Can you get back?
by tomorrow? I don't think so. Sorry. Why does everyone want me to carry weapons?
You're a smuggler. You're a smuggler, Val.
Yeah, but
Good at
like,
being a smuggler.
yeah, that's what crossed my mind too. I mean, hey, I might have something for you.
I'm listening.
So, yeah, how do you feel about battle droids?
Dorians have long memories. Battle droids are very effective, but scary.
Could they use one?
If it will help to defeat the Rutani, the Sinali will accept nearly any help. What?
I'll get back to you.
Cool. And amid the fight that kind of broke off, we'll get back to that in a minute. I want to go to engine room with Quake and Booza. What does this look like, Booza? You're trying to do this really crazy Jedi thing that you've never done before. But Quake, you maybe know more, or at least as much about this as he does.
Yeah,
I guess.
I've seen this before, but I guess I don't realize that Booza doesn't know what he's doing. And then the Jedi know what they're doing. I'm just the grunt.
Is Sabine cutting up for you guys or just me?
Yeah, she's cutting out for me as
Okay,
well.
cool. Because I got a new cable modem yesterday, and I was like, "Oh crap!"
Okay.
Okay.
Can you still hear me?
Yes.
Yep, you're back.
Yes.
You're back.
Okay, cool. Okay. So, what I was saying is that Booza, he kind of does. I don't think he realizes that Booza hasn't done this before.
Neat. So
yeah, in Booza's mind, I feel like one of the last things he remembers about his master before they parted ways was his master was meditating on the future, and that was going to be one of the next things that they were going to work on together when they got back together. But they never did. And so there's still that doubt from last session about his master maybe still being alive, and him feeling guilty about not looking after or looking for him. So I feel like there's a lot of conflict, and he's using the music, the opera, to kind of push through the feelings of guilt, push through like the uncertainty, and embrace the feelings, embrace the mood of that we need to know what's going on around us to help us move forward in a way that'll help more people. And so,
tell me a little bit of what did your master look like? What species were they?
I want to say a human.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I think I'd heard male gender, but I just want to double check what.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Human.
Kind of like a father figure.
Oh, so like we're talking like Obi-Wan age kind of deal going on?
Yeah. Let's just go with that.
Awesome.
Yeah. So obviously for Booza, who's Togruta, every time he sees, I'm gonna even say that Quake, like the clones, there's something about like their bone structure in their face that reminds him at first of his master. Does that work for you, Sabine?
Yeah, that's totally cool.
Okay. All right. So yeah, he's gonna kind of like probably sit on Zop's bed and get into what he thinks is a meditative pose. Like he's seen it done too. So he's gonna try to emulate the pose and the breathing while the music's blasting. And kind of like the last thing before he closes his eyes is focusing on Quake. Like this is, you're my connection to the Jedi Order. And I'm going to reach out through the ship, connect with all of the people aboard, connect with the idea of this battle robot thing, and search out for a course of action that will be beneficial to most people.
Oh man, I hope you failed this roll. I mean,
oh yeah, I want advancement. Oh yeah.
I would like to help. Not
Yeah.
I think that's a good choice.
Do it totally.
No, but saying something, but by looking, just projecting this utter faith that Quake has in the Jedi way and Booza being a Jedi. Just not
cool.
by words, just by standing there and looking at him. And for him, it's weird because the Jedi he was supposed to protect was Takruda too, and he has these weird connection feelings with Booza. So yeah, I would like to do that.
Oh yeah, I want to see how that goes.
Yeah,
that's fascinating to me.
I'll roll this, and I've got an 11. Whoa! Yeah, I'm very stalwart. And what can I do now? I can give you an advantage, I think, which I will. And I also can clear one stress. And I'm not pushed up. That's better. I'm not pushed to my limits or exposed to danger or complications. I think that wouldn't fit anyway. So
okay.
I'll do that. Oh, I have all three actually because I've got.
Oh, that's
plus.
right. Yeah, with the 10 plus support, helpful and supportive, all three. You're built for this. Way to go. Good job, War Horse.
Okay.
All right. So you get to roll 3d6.
Yeah.
And keep the best 2.
All right, and I have a +1 to alien.
You're rolling with alien.
Wow.
I see 5 dice, so I don't know which ones they are. Which ones they are? Is it the 5, 5, and 6?
I think so. So basically got a 12.
Wow. That's amazing. Let's clear a few of those out for next rolls. That is pretty tremendous. So with the scrying on a 10 plus, the player of the subject will ask. Okay, so when you take time to perform the ritual of prophecy, say whose future you wish to scry. Offer up something linked to them and roll plus alien. So what? Who is the subject?
I think when we were talking about this, we were thinking about the person that we were going to be delivering this to. So I think that's definitely one of them.
Oh yeah, cool. So the player of the subject will ask you 3 questions. Tell them what you see. Oh wow, this is crazy. So then you're thinking about Lieutenant Commander Sylvia Charger?
Yeah, we weren't sure if this was going to be demoed for the whole Empire, if there's going to be a coup or what was going on with that.
So she gets to ask 3 questions of you, and you tell them what you see. This is trippy. All right.
Yeah.
What danger, challenge, or misery do you see Sylvia Charger facing?
So I think we need to maybe frame this a little bit more.
Okay.
So like if she gets so if she gets what we promised to deliver her, Does that make sense, Rich? Does that
Yeah,
work?
yeah. If
Okay.
she gets
Yeah.
Rock Stomper.
If she gets Rock Stomper, what danger do I see is what you're asking?
Mhm.
Let's see. I feel, yes, I'm just going to lean into what we were suggesting, that there's a potential coup or battle within the empire for power post whatever political struggles going on.
Sweet. So here is what you see. Let me add a little bit of flavor to that.
Mhm.
So you-
Yeah.
Oh crap! I just blanked. Oh crap! All right, I'm just gonna ask Jason because I know Jason will know. Who is the Chiss? The Chiss
Admiral
Admiral.
Thrawn. Thrawn.
Thank you. There we go.
Thrawn.
So what you see is this project Rock Stomper, which of course gets renamed because Empire. That Admiral Thrawn is leading a contingent to try to squash this particular project, and Charger ends up disappearing. She gets disappeared. So yeah, I think there are 3 that she has.
Two more.
Two more. What do you see Lieutenant Commander Charger doing? Yeah.
I see her testing this out on let's just make this easy. So you're testing out on some, what's that? The Moonies, Somali Moonies.
Oh, the Sonali?
Yeah, because no one cares about them. No one will miss them.
Nice.
Well, yeah, cool. Before taking it public, let's try it out here.
Awesome. So you see Project Rock Stomper. They've in the future, she is in like a control ship up on a. Like they wouldn't go with Star Destroyer. So it's like a G-Truck freighter, which is the kind of large freighter that usually carries around a squadron of TIE fighters. But she's using it as like her CNC. And there's a small contingent of Rock Stompers that are down on the Sonali moon. And there are Rutani troops who are running like between and beside it. And those things are kind of like the tanks. And imagine those guys are the infantry. And the Rock Stompers are just dialing in and just nailing Sonali and completely missing Rutani. It's just, oh yay! I'm sorry, I got a compliment. The choice of the G-Truck made somebody happy, and that geeking, super geek. But the Rock Stomper's aim is perfect, and there are moments where it just without error is popping, and it's scary because while battle droids like have a personality and they're droids, this is a full-on robot, and you see Charger excited. This is before she's been disappeared. This is the culmination of efforts between her and Commander Tafir, and it's all paying off, right? Good. And so we have one last question. We've done danger, seen doing, and then what fortune do you see? And I think we told a little bit of that, but maybe her getting terminated can be reinterpreted by you. So what do you see Charger? What fortune do you see Charger enjoying?
This is before Return of the Jedi actually happens, right?
Return of the Jedi is like in process.
Okay.
Jabba's dead,
right.
But like the major events aren't necessarily happening.
Sure. Okay. So I feel like she would be summoned to come before the Emperor to be congratulated personally.
Oh.
With Vader and all.
That's wicked.
So like in her eyes, that might seem like, wow, this is amazing. But obviously if she fails, Vader would just kill her.
Oh yeah, that's great. Yeah, I love it. She's like going to the Death Star, which is not fully it's not complete, but
it's fully operational.
Yay, nice Aston.
Okay, thank you.
Now, is this a thing that you like talk through, or is it like a vision that maybe somehow Quake
I feel that
with
like
the help that he's offering?
Yeah. I feel that at one point, because Booza's not familiar with how this is supposed to go, like it's a little bit overpowering because it's so vivid that he kind of, is Zop in a hammock or is it like a static bed type setup?
Probably sort of a hammock.
Okay, so I feel like it's unsteady, and I kind of see like Quake like maybe reflexively reaching forward to catch him if it looks like he's going to fall out. Does that work for you, Sabine?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, and then they touch, and then Quake sees it as well,
Cool.
or at least gets enough of it. Rich. Okay, I think the thing just frozen. Anyways, so I feel like they share like the gist of it, and it's very intense, and it feels like you're right there. You can smell like the smoke from the battlefield, and almost like hear like like it's just very intense.
Cool.
And then I feel like without even realizing, like Booza has grabbed one of Zop's personal effects or something that's nearby and is still holding on to it, like kind of like to steady himself emotionally from the experience.
Zop
Bounty hunter identity.
He has a bounty hunter badge from
cool.
a dead bounty hunting guild.
Okay. Awesome.
That no longer exists. Might have
cool
some sentimental value.
Awesome. Yeah, I feel like he's holding it. He doesn't even realize he's holding it.
That is dope. That is really, really cool. So we bounce back to the mess hall, which has now been converted to a little workshop, an impromptu workshop, or prying open the secrets of this data crystal. And here is what you find. Of course, on the initial, before you even start the slicing, only Sylvia Charger, Imperial, and like has regiment and a bunch of other details on specifically Sylvia Charger. Then it waits for the ident for her to kind of swipe in input, but you circumvent that easily. You are really made for this. And once you decrypt it, the manifest that is on the data crystal describes Rock Stomper, including the specific software that was designed for Rock Stomper, which is a DNA RNA targeting key sequence. And concept, the hereby ordered to demonstrate Rock Stomper's abilities in front of the gathered witnesses by ordering it to terminate the crew of the DNA RNA of Togruta, Rhodian, and Clone Trooper loaded into Rock Stomper. And you see also that there are assurances there that for the Empire to build, and within the software is hard-coded human. So that's
lost you a little bit at the end there, so that it's coded to take out our Togruta, Rhodian, and Clone Trooper, and then something after that.
Clone, because they have to clone troopers too, because they were specifically made. They're not human, but it's also hard coded within the software to disallow humans.
Oh, okay. So it's not allowed to shoot at humans.
Right. You can basically just drop this in any Imperial controlled world and it'll automatically. Are you guys having trouble hearing me?
Yeah, you're getting pretty choppy.
Yeah, you were roboting there for a little bit. I can hear you fine now.
Okay.
Should we maybe try a bio break and do like a connection reset, or?
Let's take bio break. See you guys in 7 minutes, and I'll type.
Okay.
Hey, Greg, since you're there, just want to check real quick. Am I sounding okay? Not roboting?
Yeah, no, you're good now.
Okay, good. Yeah, there's some stuff running in the background that I took care of, so all right. Sorry about that.
No, it's fine. I was worried because you were sort of like holding really still. I was like, oh no, Rich froze.
No, I was just looking something up real quick. Good. Yeah, so I'll restate some of the stuff that happened at the very end, the result of the slicing and dicing. Greg, if you were to go back and look at the Bat Hack rules, I made some pretty significant updates based off of feedback from last night's session. I'm really excited about it.
I'll sure take a look before the last game.
Cool. Does that sound okay for you now, Jason? Good. Good. All right, I'm going to open it. I got to go. I'm way behind, but I got to mail something out today. It won't get there by Christmas. I feel terrible. 10 days. No way. I'm an idiot.
Everybody's connection.
I think it was me. There was something going on in the background that has now completed, so I should be okay. Do I sound all right to you, Bethany?
Yeah, much better. No roboting at all. Although roboting would be appropriate for some of this.
Greg, yes! You totally hit my cue. I was like, robot is some. All right. For David. I guess we could restate. I think David heard, but that's fine. We catch everybody up. So I'm going to kind of step back to the last little bit, the slicing and dicing. What you get is that this is a message, coded message to Sylvia Charger, authorizing her to use Rock Stomper in the demonstration, that the demonstration, in order to demonstrate Rock Stomper's abilities in front of the gathered witnesses, ordering it to terminate the crew of the delivery vessel. The RNA DNA coding is set specifically for Togruta, Rhodian, and Clone. And then by checking out the software protocols, there are several reassurances that it is specifically built to where it will not and cannot attack humans, but it has a species targeting ability. So you can drop it on amidst a bunch of stormtroopers, and yes, Val will be safe. And that you specifically know that Val will be fine. And by the way, it also not coded for Imbaran for some reason. But that is what you get from the slicing and dicing, is that once the Rock Stomper is dropped off and you guys are there, things will not go well for you.
Okay. I think I have to call a team meeting. So when people are done meditating and all that, like, this is a lot.
Yeah. And of course, like just to kind of tease a few things out, Commander Tafir, it's kind of speaking that on the behalf of the Rutani military, that this is a very sensitive thing, that by targeting specifically Sonali at this time is just not politically feasible. But if the Empire were to provide the Rock Stomper military grade to them, then they can kind of do an end around the politics of destroying basically their own cousins, which he's a fan of.
I think at this point I'm already like kind of I think I'm just like coming into the engine room going, guys, I have a plan.
I'm glad to hear that, Val, because I think we're gonna have to fudge another shipment.
Yeah. Hey, cool. We have the same plan.
Okay,
Excellent.
that's a
Can-
relief.
Can you
So,
maybe tell me less about the plan? So we can...
so here's my question: where are Ricky's and Zop?
They were in the mess hall until there was a bit of a disagreement, and I think by keeping your cool and not escalating to further violence, Ricky's just going to go for a walk. She's pissed, but she also realizes she's kind of a guest on the ship, and you surprised her a little bit there.
Cool. I don't want to discuss this in front of her. You know, like eventually she's going to find out. Hey, we're not going where we said we were, but like,
it's no problem. You can
doesn't need to
basically
be.
disinvite her. I mean, she might be trying to eavesdrop, but she's not going to say, "Oh no, I have to be there. This random person that you've kidnapped." No,
Right.
she'll go and sit in the bunk that you provided her.
Cool.
I'm right there in the mess hall.
Yeah. So, all right. Look, I know this could have consequences in the future, but we can't take this, Stereotu.
Why is it not coded for Trandoshan?
Probably because of the number of bounty hunters the Empire employs, is my guess.
I guess the Trandoshan was kind of a surprise, even to her.
And they simply wanted to wipe out the crew as they knew them, just to show that it could be done.
Wait, what?
Well, when this thing is activated by the people we're delivering it to, it will immediately target our Rhodian, our Togruta, and our clone trooper, because that's the DNA coded into its sensor package.
Nice.
Okay, I didn't know about that part. Now, yeah, okay, even more reason not to take it to Ariado.
This device is monstrous. I mean, it's one thing to go toe to toe in a battle. I don't shy away from a fight, but this is it's without honor. It's simply a genocide machine.
So we're gonna take it to the Moonies. How's that sound?
Yes.
That's an option, but I'm concerned about anybody having this device.
Apparently they're going to launch an attack in a few days. We don't have time to go pick up. We don't have time to deliver this to Ariadu. Go pick up Mosa's whatever the hell he's sending them and take it there. But we do have time to deliver this to them instead and get paid for it and not deliver a genocide machine to the Empire.
Oh, okay, agreed. What happens when the Moonies use it to, reap vengeance on their enemies?
Can you slice it maybe so it will explode after, or so that the internal heating, cooling system will overheat after a few uses?
That sounds good.
I could probably do that.
We can warn the Senali about this. They can use it and drop it onto the Imperials, and then it will explode. So it's gone, and it helps them. I like that. And getting paid also sounds okay-ish.
Out of character, has Quake shared about the infighting in the Empire and all that stuff already?
Yeah, he's made the theory that this was the thing.
Perfect.
And that that the Thrawn thing. Well, I think he will leave that to Booza sharing the whole vision thing, because
Okay.
he's very like, oh my god, what did I see? Did I see that? Was that real? I don't know.
Okay.
Can we slice the species targeting part 2?
Rich, is that something that I have, like, since I've cracked it, I can, swap and change settings, or is it more complicated than that?
It's a little more complicated than that. You could do it with time, but it's not a thing where you can just immediately, like, you're not master the system. You kind of did a few end rounds, were able to read a few, you know, INIs and some text files and the like to understand it, but to actually get into the engine and recode it and the like is pretty complicated. I mean,
Sure.
You think you could do it with time though?
Because we'll have to get it to be able to target humans.
Yeah, that's smart.
Yep.
Right, the Moonies are fighting the Empire, right? Or am I miss?
Oh,
did I mix
so the Moonies are fighting the Rutan. It's a whole proxy war.
Oh, right. Yeah. Okay.
The Sonali are like a subspecies of the Rutan. They're just genetically different enough for there to have been this centuries-old conflict between the two of them. And there's been this Cold War going on, but Mosa was trying to basically arm them up with what you guys were going to smuggle in, because evidently, as what was revealed to Val, they're itching for a fight. There's something coming to a head here.
Mm-hmm.
I guess the Empire is supplying the Rutani with weapons.
Yeah.
If we, this is out of character, if we were to change the coding to human, then we would probably want to deliver it to the Empire. But I don't think Booza would not be in favor of genocide of any race.
I wonder if it would perhaps be better to remove some of the automation and put a remote control package on this.
What about the droid?
What about 404? Is that what you're saying?
No.
Okay, so 404 gets excited about this. I need to hear 404 getting excited.
I'm not sure it's wise to
404, you'll be able to cook larger meals.
And shoot Rhodians and clone or humans if we manage to hack it.
I don't know if we want 404 in charge of
it's a kinder, gentler genocidal war machine.
Well, I think if we were to oh boy, if we were able to install a remote control package, that would remove the sort of wild automatic nature of this thing, and it would just become a weapon under the Moonies' control, and they could operate it and point it and shoot it and need to be within a certain range to use it, and it can't just run wild through a population. But
Booza stands up. It's like, wait a minute. What if we attempt peace between the two peoples?
This has been going on forever.
I'm so sorry. Somebody just knocked my front door. I never get visitors, so I need to go see what's up. I'll be back.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay.
So, like, Booz is like thinking, like, wait, the Jedi used to make peace between like peoples.
Yes, but they did not broker peace between the Separatists and the Republic. Sometimes the situation has gone too far. The Jedi realized that. That's why we were created. Actually.
So if we give this weapon to the Sonali, the war will keep continuing. Rutan will get bigger weapons. It will never stop until one of them is destroyed or enslaved.
That's true.
We're only changing who gets the weapons.
Both of these groups have the option to contact and make peace if that's what they wanted. I personally am more invested in making it a fair fight rather than enforcing how I think they should manage their politics.
And we won't
Maybe-
make any money.
Maybe they will have peace once they see that the Senali aren't the easy victims they thought they were.
A good point.
Yeah. All right. Booza, what did you have? Did you have an idea?
Yes. We make deal to Rutan leaders. We make deal to Sonali leaders to meet to get weapon. They both show up, and instead we broker peace.
That puts us in the middle of two armies.
But it,
Not my favorite place to be.
but it can make peace. And he looks at Quake like, come on, back me up here.
This is one hell of an insane plan, and I love it.
I still don't think this weapon should go to anyone to use. But I am a crew member. I am not, it looks at Val, I am not your master. I'm not your commander. So I will abide by the wishes. But I feel like this, and maybe this is when I depart from crew. Maybe this is my destiny.
Well,
no,
go ahead.
you know what? If we do this, we all leave together.
But I will leave it to crew to decide what happens with this machine. We do need food on table. Yes. Right? We do need money. I'm not being too idealistic. However, I do see an opportunity. Maybe foolish.
I still like the idea of the thing overheating and exploding.
I agree. But I would prefer that not to happen on innocence.
Yes.
The Empire should earn back what they put into the market.
You realize those stormtroopers are just soldiers, right? Just saying.
No, I do understand that, but I'm saying we must, if we are to fight the Empire, their industrial war machine must be crippled.
And
they have a lot more war machines than just us.
Yes, and well, also if the Rutani and Sonali are getting weapons from Empire, and if they don't have war, they don't need weapons.
And additionally, if you were able to broker not just a peace, but an alliance and array them against the Empire who wants to see them destroy each other.
Yes.
That would be an interesting outcome.
Yes, and there's this thing called the Rebel Alliance out there that might find this useful.
I've only heard rumors.
I don't think it would work, but I think it's worth the chance to try.
Let's convince them that we're from the Rebel Alliance and we're there to help them.
Yes.
And like Booza's eyes light up and he looks at Val like, yes, you are becoming the hero I hope for.
We're already their allies.
I'm gonna need a new costume.
And then
I'm bringing all my blasters.
I feel like this is turning into Lord of the Rings, except in a silly way.
You have my wig.
And my peace gesture.
I could also hard code this device to be unable to target Sonali or Rutani. And if it was coded that way, they would be forced to have to find some other use. I'm not callous about using it to eliminate stormtroopers, but unlike our friend Quake, these stormtroopers volunteered to join the Empire.
Volunteered is a very generous term.
That's a broad description. That's not like you can say no to.
I've seen the recruitment centers. I've seen the
While
clones
we're
were forced to fight.
coding this, how about only humans? I say this as a human, which is probably a terrible idea, but
So I want to just slide in as that kind of sinks in for everybody for Quake. Quake being a clone trooper and understanding the battlefield. This Rock Stomper is definitely an important weapon, but it is also like smaller than an ATST with a little bit more armament. It's not going to turn the tide of an entire war, but it could definitely, like, imagine having a tank in the middle of a planetary side war. So it can definitely have an impact in a battle, but it will be circumvented. The whole approach from the Rutani military is, hey, we've developed this prototype, make us several hundred of them, and we will go win Sonali as an entire, we'll take over the moon. So I just want to kind of throw that in. So you've got that reality check going on in your head.
Yeah. I'm gonna say you realize that one Rock Stomper is not going to do anything to the Empire. I mean, it's hell on the stormtroopers, sure, but one AT-AT will blast it to pieces. I mean,
However,
I've got
I just want the technology.
Yeah, the
However,
ship's weapon could blast it to pieces.
I feel that it would be a good alert that the Rebel Alliance is keeping an eye on them.
I like the idea of getting them both at the table. So, but
additionally,
yeah.
Sorry. Additionally, the Rutani lose this prototype. The Empire doesn't get it, and the Sonali have the opportunity to perhaps replicate this if they need to. And I think circling back to the idea of removing any sort of auto-targeting and have it be remote controlled may alleviate some of the real wild concerns about this thing going on a killing spree.
I think ultimately this comes down to the captain's decision, right? It's right on Val's shoulders.
I think let's give PbtA a chance. But if he fails, we need a backup plan. So let's slice it like you said, to, you know, it'll blow up if it's used too many times, or it'll blow up after a certain, or it'll just like stop working after a certain period of time. And I say we deliver it to I keep forgetting the name of the moon. The Moonies. If we can't make peace, I'd rather side with against the Empire. But yeah, let's give PbtA a chance to make peace first. What can it hurt?
I agree.
Several ways we could be
All
hurt
right.
in this, but I like it. Let's go. You're doing very well, Mel.
Nice.
There's profit to be made from wartime, but not from utter devastation.
Yeah. The Moonies
So
can't
the
pay us to
decision
deliver things if
then-
they're all dead.
So you guys have decided the delivery to Ariadu is off. That
Yeah.
You're going to head back
I think I
towards
already
the-
set our course back the way we came before any of this discussion.
Nice. Okay, cool. So you set that course. 404 was maybe communicating through the comm system because he would be taking care of that. He's having to deal with the disappointment of not being placed in Rock Stomper's body. The idea of actually being that ambulatory was very exciting for him. Having guns is like a whole new world for 404. He's already written like some fanfic of 404 Stomper. post it on a few bulletin boards. That will, you guys probably don't
Sorry,
have
buddy.
access.
We'll try to get you some legs at some point, but
droidfantasy.net. And so ship comes out of hyperspace. You guys pull in before you hit the Ariadu system. You're still on the Hydian way. And then you start the process of turning back around. But you pulled up short, like you were, several hundreds of thousands of space miles before you hit the Ariadu system. And you are hailed. So 404 hails you, or passes through the hail to you, Captain.
oh boy. All right. Yeah, I will open it. Yeah, sure.
Cool. This is Imperial vessel Intrepid. Unknown vessel, please prepare to be boarded.
Huh. Okay. What is what's the problem?
You've entered Ariadu space. You haven't, and will be boarded and inspected.
This is I'm sorry, we weren't aware we were in Ariadu space. We'll leave right now.
I'm sorry, your idents are not
Wait,
not clear. Yeah?
Can Booza enter the scene?
Sure.
Please.
So, Booza puts a hand in Val and closes his eyes and says, "Are these the credentials that you're looking for?" That enrolling suggestion.
Yes. All right. Roll plus alien.
Okay. Does anyone want to lean on me or anything? I don't know if anyone can help. I feel like Val would be the helper.
I think that I'm like kind of distracting them.
Yeah.
Or, like stalling them while you're doing this.
Roll stalwart then, Val.
Okay.
Oh wow, an 11. Holy cats. You get all three then, so pretty great. You have advantage on this roll plus alien, and
Yes.
you can clear one stress if you may, if you choose, and it does not increase the danger for Val.
Okay, so I'm just gonna roll 3d6.
Your alien is a 1.
Yep. Oh my gosh. I got an 8.
Wow. 2 1s. Oh,
I
it's so
know.
good you got the third die. 2 1s and a 6. All right. With suggestion, with the moves you engage 7 and 9, choose one, but they'll soon realize you messed with their head.
Okay, this is awesome. All right. Come on, Google, work for me.
Well, I can drop it into the options.
No, I got it. Okay. Yeah. I feel like they see the credentials. Like the credentials obviously are not what they're looking for, but they see it. But I feel like the Empire probably does like a double check, but it takes a few minutes. And so Booza squeezes Val's arm and he's like, "We need to go now."
Okay. So you're not convincing them something without proof, so long as you don't lie, because you're lying.
Like
so
this is stalling so that we can
command.
this is the stall so that we can hopefully speed away before they can catch us.
Yeah.
Which would be
Cool.
awesome. Chase, space chase.
Yes, it sounds fun. So then, yes, this the Intrepid, which is an Imperial vessel from the Chiss Ascendancy, is delayed by your falsehood, and you guys are able to start plotting a course. However, it takes a little bit to spin up. We are going to try to act quick here. So, Val, you get the nod from Booza. You hear back and say, this appears to be in order.
And Booz is switching on like the red alert for the ship. Like, hold on.
Zop's running for the blaster turret.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Quake's already there.
I think Ariania is headed for the engineering in case she can like juice up the system at all.
Yeah, there we go.
Zop's keeping an eye on the Trandoshan then.
She's like just in her bunk, just.
And Val is speeding away. And I actually have a move for this if we.
Ooh,
but I'm not sure like what direction we would roll. When you control a vehicle or ship and make a move to attempt to avoid danger, you have advantage.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure like how this would space chase would work here.
Can I roll for assistance with this?
So you can't really double advantage.
Okay, no, that's fine. That's fine. Yeah.
So yeah, you either act with advantage or you don't. So you're going to be acting quick. So when you use your instincts or reflexes to avoid a danger and negotiate through danger towards a goal, roll plus slick. You're rolling with advantage because you have crack pilot, and your slick, if I remember, is pretty good at a +2.
Yep.
So you got good chances here of negotiating out of here.
Cool.
And I know what I want for a mixed result. I really do. I know exactly what's going to happen.
Okay, so I count all three or just the two highest?
Two highest.
Okay, that's what I thought. So that's an 8 and 10.
Nice. Okay, so on a 10, you're basically dodging out of the way, lining yourself up, kind of getting into the hiding away sweet spot when 404 messages you over text and says, "Are you sure about the whole no rock stomper body?"
Can we put the rock stomper on our hull and have it fire? Oh, come on.
Okay, come on.
404's dream.
That's just a brief interaction there. Then you guys pop into hyperspace. We have Quake's view right. You're down in the turret, so you've got a view. You were dialing in. It was. We're going to say that it was like not a full-on Star Destroyer. It was basically a frigate, an Imperial frigate, and it was kind of coming around towards you guys, and you were realizing that you guys were way outgunned. Then bam, you hit hyperspace, and the stars stretch out, and you guys are heading back to the Rotani system, so back down the Hydian way. So is there any do we want to do a few moments there? Or do we want to jump ahead to Rotani?
Just a real quick, nice flying, Val. I knew you could do it.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah, I'm patting her on the back, and just sort of giving her that look, yep, you're the one.
Nice. So you guys are in, and we cut away. We have the low, kind of ominous Imperial music going on, and it's on the deck of that frigate. And we have the CHIS communicator, the comms officer, who's reporting to the captain, and he says, "I'm sorry, ma'am, we lost them." And it's another CHIS who says, "Thrawn will not be pleased." And then we cut to you guys. Do anything you guys want to do before we arrive in the Rutani system?
Just a real quick, personal scene. I think Zop has this whole routine that Zop does in the engine room before an actual engagement. If he has time to prepare, and so he has this magenta sort of stormtrooper armor type padding. And he's very ritualistic, and there's the loud Rhodian opera while he's preparing all of his weapons and cleaning everything, so it's immaculate.
Oh, that sounds cool. That sounds really cool.
Do you notice that something's missing?
I do, and I probably go and find you and get it back from you.
How would what kind of conversation is that for Zop retrieving his stolen item?
Well, I feel like after patting Val in the back, he's like, "What's this thing in my hand? And where did I get it?" So I feel like he's kind of like wandering back into the ship, like, "What is this? The Trandoshans?"
And Zop finds you and is like,
Oh yeah.
ah, it has been a long time since someone else held that.
I apologize for removing it from your quarters without asking. And he holds it up to Zop, like, here.
No. Keep it.
And he sort of gives a polite bow out of respect, which he usually doesn't do to bounty hunters.
If
He's like,
things go wrong, you can remember me by that.
if things go wrong, I feel like we have more memories that we can remember each other by.
And Zop won't say anything to that and just turns back around and goes back to the engine room.
Awesome.
Nice. So, Zob, you head back to the engine room, and after a little bit of time, Ricky Ooze comes inside. Do you have a moment to speak? She holds out her hands, like showing that she has no weapons.
Looking for a reason not to have a moment, but yes.
I had you all wrong. I thought you were caught up with these fools. But then I looked up all the marks that you have. This is a long game you're playing. Very smart.
There must always be Rhodian stew when you are hungry. Some Rhodian phrase.
Nice. When will you take them?
Some bounties I take to prevent others from taking them. Prevent bounty hunters like you from taking them.
She leans in again, does that kind of head move. You don't protect marks. You hunt them. How can you deny the hunt?
I am not a Trandoshan like you. There are morals in my blood.
Morals. And how would these morals do you if they knew that you were their hunter?
Val knows I have her mark. I
And
make
the
no.
Umbaran? What about the Umbaran? Does she know?
She will know when it is necessary for her to know.
Very dangerous scheme you play, Rhodian.
In time, I may have all their marks. I may even have yours.
And she stands back like that's the funniest joke she's heard in days. And just chuckles, and then she walks off, and you hear this like hissing whistle as she heads down the little tight hallway and out of the engine room. Cool. Anything else, you guys? Any conversations you guys need to
I
have?
think I would like to talk to Zap, or sorry, Val.
I think I'd like a scene with Arianya at some point, but you go ahead first.
Cool. Because I think we had this understanding between us that that Ricky was kind of dangerous. So I'm coming up to you and Zap, what do you think we should do about Ricky Ooze? I don't think she'll share our enthusiasm for peace and sticking it to the Empire. respectively.
Could always put her back in the hole.
That I don't know. I don't know how the rest of the team will react. They seem to kind of like her.
I think you and I can keep her under control.
Oh. Okay. But you know my priority is protecting Luza. Always.
You know my priority is getting paid.
Yeah, I'm not too sure about that.
If
I wouldn't
she makes a mistake, I can turn her in for some money.
Very good. I trust you. I didn't think I would hear myself say that, but I trust you.
I trust your blaster.
Yeah. Yeah, quite walks off, waving with the blaster.
Cool. Do we want to jump to the Val and Arianya scene?
Sure. Yeah.
Sure.
So I think this is just in the cabin, like, and Arianya's getting whatever disguise she has planned ready. And I think like Val is just sitting on the bunk, like making sure, her blaster's charged and kind of trying, sort of running over like, okay, what do we do if this happens, if that happens, if Booza fails in the whole peace thing, and coming up with, more and more elaborate like schemes just in her head. Like, okay, so if this, like, it's like weird flow charts, and then suddenly, oh wait, no, that won't. And kind of like maybe saying the stuff out loud, but like not actually talking to Arianya just so much as just like going through it. But and like watching Arianya, the being kind of like fascinated by the like major changes. Like, wow, how do you look totally different? And crap, there was something I was gonna say and I don't remember what it was, but yeah, let's start there.
I think with the muttering going on while Ariana is getting dressed and like putting on this like slick black bob cut wig and making some other little alterations, I mean, and hearing the muttering, she says, I appreciate your ability to see forward, but don't plan yourself into a box. You'll always want room to improvise, and I've seen you improvise with the best of them. Don't sell yourself short.
Yeah, I've just look. We've never been between two armies before. We've never had both sides of a war. Potentially also the Empire. Let's not even talk about the Empire right now. Possibly wanting to kill us. So, I'm sorry. I'm a little, I'm a little nervous, to be honest. Don't tell anybody I said that.
No, I won't, but it's good that you told yourself. You should always be able to analyze and think about your own feelings, or they'll control you. This is the first part to keeping your cool, which, I mean, look at how you got us out of that system. You spun up, got us out of there without even thinking about it. It was natural. You should take that as encouragement. That's what you do under pressure.
You sound like Booza. Not that that's necessarily a bad thing. He did something to the whoever was on that Imperial ship. He stalled them. I guess, I don't know, but I don't know how it works, but it does. So I hope he can do the same thing here.
Maybe. I've seen Jedi up close before, and I trust PbtA, but I won't ever put all of my trust in a Jedi again. Not after what Umbara went through.
Yeah. But PbtA's all right. PbtA's, yeah, he's...
I agree. But
so
I put my trust in people like you, Val.
The other thing, I have a bounty on me. It's for Obiston. I don't have access to the bounty hunter boards, but if there's a bounty on me, there's probably one on you too.
It wouldn't surprise me, although they might have trouble figuring out which me to put a bounty on. And she sort of glances at all the wig mannequin heads.
Yeah, your costumes are like taking up most of the cabin, and I probably complain about it sometimes, but I'm not complaining about it now.
Sorry about it.
Okay, look, yeah, maybe you should teach the rest of us the art of disguise.
I would be happy to anyone who'd like to learn. I think in particular I worry about PbtA and Quake drawing attention when we don't want them to. I know they don't mean to, but Quake has a familiar face, doesn't he?
Yeah, it's weird. He looks like, he looks like all of the other clone troopers. There's a million people he could be mistaken for, but he still draws attention.
Well, I guess we'll have to play it by ear, but I think that's what you and I do best.
Yeah, just like old times. Not that old times lasted long. I'm glad to be doing this with you again.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to be doing this with anyone else. I'm glad we get to do this.
I think that's like that can be.
Yeah.
Good.
That's a good one. That's so good. If you guys wanted to pursue relieving stress, that would be a perfect opportunity to have leaned on someone and use that move to relieve.
Does Val have stress?
No, I am somehow stress-free at the moment.
I should be handing out stress on Val all the time. Dang it, what am I doing?
I know, right?
I have a stress. I forgot about that.
Mm-hmm.
What do we roll for that?
So Val would roll lean on me, which is stalwart.
Okay, cool.
7.
Cool. So you can have the choice. You get one choice, which you could use to relieve that stress right there.
I choose or Val chooses?
Val chooses. She's offering you support.
Okay.
Well, would you rather relieve stress or have advantage going forward?
Oh, advantage. Yeah,
Cool.
I think that's...
Yeah, let's take that one then.
Good call. Okay. Last call for any scenes that happen before you guys arrive in the Rutani system.
Oh, just wanted to establish that we got the auto-targeting thing disabled on the thing.
Disabling, yes. Like changing it around, all that kind of stuff, no. But if you wanted to kind of slap patch some type of remote control on it, it's going to be really crude.
Yeah, that's fine for now. I just don't want that thing walking off the ship and going like, oh,
turning around and immediately shooting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. We don't have to like play this through, but I have this idea for like a quick montage of Buza having drinks again with Ricky, kind of like, and they just sort of stand there, drink, and then eventually they part ways. Like they don't even say anything.
Nice. Yeah, they finish off that bottle that you had
Yep.
taken from the gambling den. That sounds good. Yeah, I was actually looking if there would be something to disengage the auto targeting, mostly because you're going to feel like you did it regardless. I'm just wondering if maybe if you fail at the worst possible moment, it turns out to not be great. So let's see. I think keep your cool sounds fun for me. You tend to keep your cool under pressure as you're wiping your unbarring brow and making sure that you disable the auto targeting system. Go ahead and roll plus stalwart there, Arianya.
And is this when I have advantage, or does that advantage thing come in later?
We're doing this roll now, so you can use the advantage on this. Absolutely.
Okay. And does that advantage last for a while, or is it just
it's a
your
going
next
forward?
roll?
It's just on your next roll.
Okay. Okay. Cool.
So I'm using it up.
Yeah. Well, I want this thing to work, and by work I mean not work. Okay. Reroll selected. Hey. Okay. That's an 11 plus my stalwart, which I think is 0. So
You feel really confident that you've been able to disengage that auto targeting system, and we'll say that you've kind of patched in a little like handheld device that people can use to try to drive this sucker.
Yeah, cool. Thank you.
Okay. So as we come out of hyperspace, we're going to I'm framing it in the area where Quake is. Do you imagine, timing wise, kind of countdown, where would Quake be? Would he be in his bunk? Is he in the engine room?
Depends on what's going on right now. If nothing else is going on, he'd probably be either at the helm next to Val, just to see what's going on, or maybe just chilling out at the gun thing.
Cool. Oh yeah.
you
So
have-
let's say
yeah.
you're chilling out in the turret, because you never know what you guys are going to come into. You had Imperial on one side, if they happen to know where you're headed, that kind of thing. Normally on the hiding way, it's difficult to tell someone's trajectory. So yeah. So you come in when you guys come out of hyperspace. We're down in the turret area. I don't know why I do this hand gesture, because I'm imagining a bubble turret, but that as I look at the ship, that may not exactly be the design of it. Do you imagine that it's like a bubble turret underneath?
Yes.
Or okay.
I imagine a bubble turret, so I don't know where it is, but it's a bubble turret.
If we take a look at her, I think it'd be right underneath part of the it's something we can make work. It's just you have a limited firing arc if somebody drops the gangplank in the front, because it's the way that the front of the ship works is you get into the cargo hold, because this like drops down and you load into the cargo hold. So if the bubble turret is underneath that, then
yeah.
But you wouldn't want the gangway down anyway. That would be a lot of problems. So you're down there in the bubble turret, and you see, bam, again, Rutan, you see Sonali, the two of you guys come out, and they can kind of coast in. And as you are checking out, running the protocols to come into the system as a peaceable trader, TRADER, you notice, Quake, that just on the console, I'm imagining it's like one of those, like you have the twin sticks, right, that can move you all the way around, similar to the way the turrets worked in the Millennium Falcon. But there's a small like strip of animal fur that's been cured and treated, and there's some beads that are like wrapped around it that has been placed just like slightly over to the side, but definitely to where you would pick it up at some point. And you recognize from the color of the fur that this is a piece of like a Nerf pelt.
That's very weird. That wasn't there before, because I know this turret place.
Right.
So
this was not here before.
Well, huh. Okay, so I kind of assume that one of my shipmates put it maybe there because they were feeling funny, or maybe 404 has some weird droid humor. And I think I will pick it up and put it somewhere where it's not in the way and where I can give it back to whoever put it there.
Cool. Val, are you headed to Raton or directly to the Sonali moon?
Directly to the moon.
Okay, so cool. Do you kind of veer off of the general trajectory towards Rutan Prime, and as you head towards Sonali, you see that they have the blockade up, and this is Rutani military that are provided Imperial ships, but they've kind of painted them over and made sure kind of imagine like Saudi Arabia stuff that's all flying around F-14s. That's kind of what they're doing here. It's like the Rutani have painted over with Rutani colors and markings and the like. That there are, it's not like they have TIE fighters, but they have generally recognizable Imperial military tech that's a generation or so old, but still quite effective. And you are hailed.
All right. Can we say I did call Mosa and tell him?
Oh, absolutely.
What we were gonna do, like while we were en route.
Absolutely.
And yeah.
And this blockade isn't a surprise. You
right?
knew that they were being blockaded, so this isn't a shocker to you. Yeah. You can flash back to preparations. I'm totally a-okay with that.
Yeah, I think we've done something with that crystal because, like, it's clearly it's a delivery thing for the Empire. So I think maybe we just changed the name of the officer it was going to or something. Yeah, okay, but I'll answer it.
Cool. Unknown vessel, please transmit your transponder codes so that we can validate your purpose and identification.
And I like scroll through the many fake transponder codes we have, pick one and send it.
Sweet. So you're trying to negotiate your way past these guys, like manipulate your way. So you're using promises, guile or charm to manipulate someone who's doing what you want. I assume you want to pass through the blockade. So go ahead and roll plus slick.
It's a good thing I have a high slick.
Can I lean on that and put my bounty hunting credentials on there?
Sure.
For the purpose that we're going on the moon is my bounty hunting credentials. And that's plus stalwart?
It is.
That's a 7, so I pick, what is it, 2?
Yep.
So yeah, obviously she gains advantage. And I'm not pushed to my limits or exposed to dangers or complications.
Sounds good.
Okay, so I get to roll another die?
Yeah, 3d6 plus your slick.
We're good? Because those two dice say 5. Where's the other one? Okay, where's the other one? There it is. There it is. I forgot it when I changed the colors. Okay, cool. That's a 10.
Nice. Okay, so on a 10 on a manipulate, if they're an NPC, on a 10 plus, the space master chooses accept your offer at face value and agree to the exchange. I can't ask you to promise something and will do what you want if they agree. So they agree. You throw off the idents and they say, "Oh, I see that you are cleared for delivery. Please proceed to docking bay 42, and the guide path will be coded over to your system, and please accept that, and you'll be able to land without any trouble whatsoever."
Okay.
Where exactly are we going? Do we have a plan for brokering peace? Uza?
I assume Mosa has given us a contact. But yeah, as for the Rutani,
So here's what I think. What I think in the Star Wars universe. We use our contacts with both sides, and we arrange the meeting like, hey, we've got this special cargo for you that can help you win the war, and of course we're lying to both parties, and we get them to meet in some isolated area. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty simple. People fall for it all the time because they're desperate.
It's true. The Sonali are definitely going to show up. At least some of their force will be there, and of course, they're all having that heated conversation. You know, this is a trap. Of course, I know it's a trap. and then Rockstomper is coded for both Rutan and Sonali. You all die. That's how we find peace.
No.
Now we raise nerfs. Yeah, we just heard nerfs.
Okay, so in that case, once we get to this, like, the stocking bay, we like immediately leave and go to the isolated location.
Cool. Okay. So we'll have you guys on effectively like a speeder truck of some kind that you've picked up, and whoever is in the truck is totally cool. Anything like at this point, I think Ricky Ooze is. I'm sorry, but like I'm thinking of this guy. I think she's gonna kind of. She'll be honorable about it, but I think she's gonna come to you, Val, and say, I think this is not what I am here for.
You're free to leave anytime. You're not a prisoner.
Your crew.
Clues is still trying to get this.
You can be crew if you want. But
newsletter. Monthly newsletter.
She says, I wish you the best. But you should be careful around Zop.
Yeah, I know. Thanks. Also, you know, thanks for not killing any of us. Appreciate that. Good luck.
None of you have a bounty on you. I hope that we never see each other again.
Same here.
And then she will disembark as you guys get into the speeder truck, and you've already loaded up Rockstomper, the reformatted Rockstomper, where you guys went in format C+, C:, there you go, and then you wrote in your own programming there. All that sophisticated software that the Rutani engineers are like, we've got it, sir. And now it's all wiped and it's nothing. So yeah, you guys have set up. I want to go something kind of natural. So instead of this being a warehouse or some BS like that, it's like I'm the Sonali. So let me glance real quick because I don't think that the write-up on Wikipedia says anything other than the Sonali were a native species on the Rutan moon of Sonali. So let's see. Sonali orbiting satellite of Rutan, separate rule with its own government, but it was a colony of Rutan for many years. Let's see, it has 4 moons of its own. That's crazy. It's a moon with moons. I heard you like moons, so I got a moon with moons on it. It is covered in oceans, except for small islands that the Sonalis live on. They mainly subsist on fish and fruit from the various scattered islands. So I imagine there are a number of archipelagos, mostly because I like saying the word archipelago. That's really the only reason. And so you guys will be off on a sandbar, like where they've set up. And we see the Sonali who look eerily suspiciously like Rutani, except like slightly different colorations. It's one of those things where the CG department was just like, no, we just changed the filter and we add like a little thing on their forehead, the Star Trek style. And then we have the Rutan. Unfortunately, I only have one picture of Rutan to provide you, so just imagine Rutan except different color and different dress. So the Rutan are dressed in military gear. They have blasters. We'll say that there's an entire squad that shows up here. They're all Imperial trained, and so they are ahead in this proxy war that is forthcoming. The Sonali, they are there's like a couple of younger Sonali, like teenage versions of the Rutan. So we'll say they're like a yellow coated, right? We'll go with the whole sand motif. So there's a lot of yellow here, yellows and blues. And the Sonali are mostly female, younger. There's a couple of older. There's like one Sonali who's got a cybernetic arm, and he's wearing like an eye patch. You know, it's just like a strip of cloth. And they're set on either side, waiting for you guys to show up. what do you do? Who's leading the show here, Val? Are you still in charge, or have you kind of ceded this whole military thing to Quake, or what's going on?
I mean, this is Booza's idea.
It's true.
But Quake knows military. I have expertise in neither peacemaking nor military, so I think I'm like, I have every confidence that well, you know, I say I have every confidence that they know what they're doing and they can handle this. So I let them do what they're good at.
Yeah, I'm going to follow Booza's lead, I guess. I'm being armed, I guess. And I have my grenades at the ready for, and I expect things to go wrong anyway. So, but I don't want.
Oh yeah, this ship I did not shut the ship down. Like it's ready to take off at any time. I have my blaster. Like yeah.
Yeah, but I'm not going to say anything because I don't want to shatter Booza's or scratch Booza's confidence. He really needs that. So I will, I will try to give him a boost before we go out and tell him that this is a very Jedi thing to do. That's something that Obi-Wan would have done. So I'm really proud to know him.
Nice.
Oh wow! Wow. Could
I
I have
sort of-
cleared? Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Could I have cleared my suggestion thing during the travel, or is that still?
Oh, there's a recover roll. If you want to roll recovery, we can do that. That sounds awesome. So if you look on the basic moves, recover when you're out from direct danger during a hostile situation. Take a moment to gather yourself. Roll stalwart.
Okay.
Or stalwart. Or
could I roll as well to clear my slicing
sounds
dice?
great. Yeah, that's a really good idea.
Thanks.
And it really only matters if you fail.
Okay.
So a mixed success means you take a little bit, but it's okay because you're not in direct conflict.
Did I have to roll for my armor, which I repaired?
Oh, I think.
I mean, I didn't roll. You just said,
Yeah, no,
you repair your armor.
No, I think I think repairing armor. I don't see that as necessarily this move related.
Cool.
So,
Do you add something to it?
You add stalwart.
Uh-oh. I got a 5.
Yay, you got a 5. Awesome. So your slicing kit is missing a few pieces.
Oh,
and as we like, you don't know it yet, but we'll like skip across and we see Ricky Ooze walking across the spaceport and she's looking at her kit and she's got a couple of new little slicer pieces.
Yes.
Yep.
And she's sawing and doing that hissing whistle thing again.
Well, yeah. but now you have a nerf talisman.
Yep. Totally have a nerf talisman, although that was doing a Quake, not you. But you still have it.
Okay, so Booza. So this reminds me of, was it Val's hook? Jedis aren't in charge anymore. Yeah, so Booza's gonna assess the situation and read the sitch, and he's going to move forward. And I don't have a prepared speech, unfortunately.
Oh, that's fine.
But basically, the idea is to focus on their similarities rather than their differences, and then once that's been established, to then focus on the greater threat, which is the Empire. In which case, we can help you as representatives of the Rebel Alliance to band together and work against the Empire, as well as to eventually resolve the political, economic differences going on here.
Cool. So your opening is, hey, the Empire is more your enemy than each other kind of idea? Okay. Cool. That has the possibility of working then. So we will put this to a roll. It feels like you're not necessarily trying to suggest as much as find commonality and manipulate these guys, but you want to scope it out first, which I think is a really good idea. So let's have you roll plus calculating first to get an idea.
On screen. There we go. All right, so let's re-roll these guys. Re-roll.
Aren't you You're protecting the weak or acting against immorality according to your code.
Yes.
Are you not? Okay.
Yes. So I got.
Wait. Does that mean you're rolling with disadvantage?
That means with advantage.
Dang it.
Well, it doesn't matter because I got 11, I think.
Nice.
Yeah.
I don't know why the dice bounce around like that, but no.
I think because I'm trying to move my screen out of the way so I can see the other screen.
Awesome. So with a 10 plus, your investigation pays off. You can ask 3 questions.
Okay. Are they specific questions?
Yes, they are. Let me drop them into the chat.
Thank you. Yeah, my Google connection is tenuous.
Google, how dare you give us shoddy free stuff?
Okay. These don't feel very politically motivated.
Yeah, that's I agree. It is a little odd.
They're definitely for like action scenes.
But we can try to broadly interpret, like who or what here is not what they seem. Who's really in control here?
Yeah.
Those can be situational.
Let's go with who's really in control. Here's the first one.
Sweet. So as you guys are coming closer, you see that none other than Commander Daz Tafir is here, just because of the economy of NPCs rule that I like to apply. Plus, also, why not have a conflict when he's involved? So he's here, and he is definitely well supplied and well. He is in control.
And then I agree with Sabine. How could we best end this quickly? And then who or what here could be a useful opportunity? I feel like those 3 together would help inform the speech.
Okay, so we're going with how best to end this quickly is the best way to end this quickly is you're trying to negotiate for peace.
Yes.
Because revealing that they were working with the Empire probably not going to create peace. That would escalate the situation and bring it to an immediate boil.
I feel like well, knowing that, I can use that to an advantage. By saying, like, basically we can give you another employer to help, like the Rebel Alliance, and then you won't be constrained or enforced to perform war crimes or other harmful things, because the Empire really doesn't care about aliens.
Right. I think that going with the angle of war crimes means you're going to have to make an enemy out of Tafir, but if you were to push the angle that the rest of the Rutani would not necessarily stomach a device that would basically commit genocide.
Right, and it's a device the Empire created that ultimately could be used on any species out there. Right. So again, it's non-Empire.
Yeah. And as long as you avoid specifically saying, "Oh, and by the way, this was created by Tafir's folks," and you just lay it on the Empire, then he's got a back door.
Yeah, I want to give him face so he can work with us.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then emphasize that it's programmed to not ever shoot humans, to be like, yeah, see, this is how much the Empire cares about aliens.
Yeah. Totally. We'll emphasize for tone and for need here.
Sounds good. And then did you have one last question that you feel like I haven't answered? If so, ask it and we'll try.
Yeah, so who or what could be a useful opportunity?
Great. So among the Sonali rebels is their leader, Orlan Haas, which I've stuck into the NPCs tab. And you can tell that Orlan Haas is not Rutan because I've changed the color with a special filter just moments ago because I'm really smart. And And Imgur is really easy to use, so thank you, Imgur. But Orlin Haas is buddy with Moza and has been told to trust you guys. So that is the best ally you guys have in this negotiation.
I just want to make a quick point that we are trying to subvert the destiny that Booza saw. So unless one of us leans in on this conversation, they're going to be rolling with disadvantage.
Nope. Thank you for pointing that out.
I just wanted to add that Arianya is sort of playing the role of this like meek engineer, in like a mechanic's jumpsuit, and is just kind of standing back with the robot, kind of like ready to have it display. And one option, I mean, there might be somebody better suited for leaning, but one option is sort of like having this thing sort of power up and posture menacingly, like, look what a terrible decision this is, while not that it's like threatening people, but just like, look how freaking dangerous this is. But there's probably a better lean in. I'm just, Ari is there and looking like this, like,
that's
please,
cool.
Yeah, she's it's like, please don't notice me. I'm just the technician, that sort of thing.
Quick is just standing around looking sternly at everybody, and I think clone troopers are somehow, when they get older, very good at looking sternly at people.
That worked for me.
Yeah, I can take that menacing thing up a notch.
Nice.
So the emphasis on it's programmed to shoot everybody but humans. I'm human. Try to shoot at me.
Nice. That's terrifying.
Like a demonstration?
Yes, it is.
I feel like this is going to be RoboCop, where there's a big catastrophe.
Ed 209.
I'm like, please don't look. Aim at my leg, or don't aim at anything vital. But yeah, go. Let's make this more dramatic.
Oh my god!
Sweet. So let me check in here for a second, because if I remember correctly, Arianya, you went in and like scooped out all of those protocols. Are we saying that you just put a blocker on it and you can kind of flip a toggle switch and it's still operational to demonstrate what it was built to do, or do we
Michael would have been? Michael would have been. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, I thought it was just the auto, like, immediately turn and kill us thing.
So my goal was to remove that sort of auto targeting ability, and that have it be like a remote control, like you point and shoot with the controller. But we can say that it's auto targeting and I can be like doing that and say, look how dangerous this is. Yeah, it's basically like a drone.
Okay, cool. So I just want to make sure that we didn't kind of violate any of the can. We were all checking in and made sure that we were on the, because if you wanted to backtrack and say, no, I just removed it from automatically targeting the crew, you could have done that. But I think making it into effectively a drone that has a handset was what I understood your goal was. So we can still, that can be part of your con. I mean, you're a scoundrel and you're making things more complex than they need to be. Good job, scoundrel.
Thank you, scoundrel.
I'm not sure that's what, like, I think in character I misinterpreted what they did too.
I got most of it,
Oh, that's great.
Dude around a necktie. I don't know. I got most of it. I got the gist. Let's go.
Love it.
Okay. Good. So then you've got the answers to your scoping the question out. You guys approach. Rock Stomper pops up, powers up, and there's like all of the Rutan kind of turn and they're fingering their blaster carbine. Several of the Sonali like reach for little weapons that they have secreted on their persons, but Rockstomper does not immediately attack anyone. And Val, you step out and kind of offer yourself up as a potential target to prove this. Nobody's used to robots here, right? You see this kind of mechanized thing. It's a drone or it's a droid. It's going to do things that it was programmed to do. So I think that you guys need to pull off a little bit of a fast one here to sell that this thing was targeted to. Now, Commander Tafir, like he totally believes this Rockstopper is going to shoot the shit out of you guys, shoot the poodoo out of you guys. So he's like smiling at this. He thinks this is going to wipe out everybody except for Val. But you still have to sell everybody else on the danger present from Rockstoppers. Who's leading that con? It feels like Val might be, but somebody also needs to operate the actual device.
Yeah, I feel like our little engineer there is actually operating the device. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And I feel like things have shifted over, like, and now for our example, I feel like Val has taken up this presentation next. I've handed the mic over to her. However, I feel like PbtA hasn't presented himself as a Jedi to anyone yet. Kind of holding that in the back pocket.
Oh, nice.
And so he's got ready, because he's also worried that maybe there'll be a malfunction. So he has to jump in the way of the blaster fire and lightsaber it away. Maybe even back at the machine. But we'll wait and see how Val does, definitely.
Can I be the other portion of the demonstration and actually get shot and try and fake getting hurt?
Oh man, that's.
Can you set a war machine to stun?
This thing does not have a stun setting. It will hurt. This thing is designed to mow down forces. So if you do that, you are going to fill up a stress track and take a calamity. I'm just telling you this.
That's fantastic. I love it.
While everybody else is busy with the whole Rockstomper, I think Quake will keep an eye out on people who will shoot us from behind or somebody who's agitating against what we're doing, just to keep an eye on the scene.
Yes.
Yeah. That sounds great. Cool. So Val, let's see you pull off this crazy con.
It's all part of the show.
Yeah.
Are we leaning in on you, or
So
do you
am
have
I
a
helping, or leaning in, and the person actually
manipulating
shooting
them.
is rolling, or?
I thought I was leaning in to help Val.
Yeah.
I think you're leading
that's
in to help
fine.
Val. Val is manipulating this crowd.
Yeah.
It will take a full success for both sides to buy in. If it's a mixed success, then I think that the end result is that you can sell it only if Zop volunteers to get shot.
Okay, yeah. So I think I'm like, okay, see, just to demonstrate how much the Empire like gives a shit about aliens, and like how much the Empire trusts you. Look, and then I point out like it's programmed not to shoot humans.
Oh, the Sonali
Kind of like stand there and like I'm just standing here being a target, while mentally going, oh please don't have fucked that up. Don't. I really hope Ariana's slicing ability is good.
Well, is lean in? Do we add stalwart to that?
We do.
Okay, so I have a 7.
You can give 2.
Yeah. Let's see. Lean on me.
You can give advantage. You can help her to clear stress, or you can not be pushed to your limits or exposed to danger or complication.
Okay, so Val is getting advantage, and Val, do you have stress?
No, and I would be fine keeping it if I did.
Oh, okay. And so I will not be exposed to danger. And what I'm picturing is having the thing like go pew 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 pew, and then it just goes bink pew 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 as it like passes over.
Nice. So let's roll your with advantage. Go ahead and roll your slick.
Okay. 12. It looks really well.
Son of a
Yeah.
dang
You
it!
don't even
That's
flinch.
awesome. So
There's
it
an
turns
audible-
out Zop.
Val, the thermal detonator kicker, stands in the line of fire.
So to sell it, I think
Incredible.
that you direct it to almost shoot Zop, but Zop dodges out of the way. Maybe Zop, you were convinced, like, I'm going to take this shot. I'm going to take this shot. Okay, maybe I don't have to take the shot. And you dodge out of the way. And this thing is a slug thrower, right? So you see the bullets. They're tearing up the sand on either side of Val. She stands there. Several of them kind of sploop, sploop, sploop into the ocean. And then it's that Gatling gun is just... who's still doing the cycle thing, and see a little bit of smoke come off of it. It's just turned slightly red from discharging this high armament, and the Sonali are just like terrified by this. The Rutani military, other than Tafir, who's seen this, they're all nervous, and this seems to really sell the danger. And they buy into it, like, didn't shoot the humans. You saw that. The Sonali scream to each other. Orlan says, This is a tool of genocide, he says.
Yeah, so I feel like this is the moment when Booza takes back the presentation and says, "Do you see, my friends? We must work together as one." And he like steps forward and extends his hands to both parties to come forward.
Cool. Tafir will move forward. He's still a little sketchy on this, but Orlan sees that this may be his only hope. So he moves forward, and the two of them meet you in the middle.
Do we take hands and there's this cheer, sort of?
Yeah, I think that seems pretty cool and fun, and like a nice little Star Warsy bit there. Is they shake hands after a moment, and then there's a cheer that comes up from the Sinai, and then the Rutan as well.
Yeah, totally like have them shake each other's hands. Yeah, like for at least right now.
Yes. And Tafir says there will be a great many negotiations, and Orlan says understood, yes, but at least now we are having a dialogue. And then Commander Tafir looks over and he sees your lightsaber.
Mm-hmm.
What is that?
Oh, he looks down.
Yeah,
he looks down at it absently. Oh, he's like, oh yeah. So he pulls it out and he says, I am a Jedi of the Old Republic, and I'm here to help save us all.
Yeah, I think that gets some shocked reactions, and maybe we cut there. Think maybe to cut to epilogues as we kind of pull back, right, and we see the Nerf herder with 404, the video screen, looking at Rock Stomper and just looking at Rock Stomper and just looking at Rock Stomper, and then occasionally panning over to the peace delegations that maybe we pull back and we see Sonali and the ships that were in blockade start to break off, right, and some of them are heading back to Ratan. We pull back again and we see those two planets, and we kind of zip to either one of them. We see some news on the holonet and some people celebrating, and maybe there are a few Sonali that come into the gambling den with this run by Doonab, and they are allowed to gamble there. And we do a Neb says, oh yes, all of you are welcome. Come, your credits spend. And then we start with a little bit of credits, and I would like to call like just a quick bio break just for me. So it's 42 after. Let's just take like 3 minutes. And so at 15 till, we'll meet. You guys share your epilogues for your characters, and then we'll do a brief feedback session and close it out. Okay? So see you guys in 3. All right. Welcome back. Thank you all so much. Let's go with epilogues. So epilogue is, it could be moments after, it can involve other PCs. It can be just a teaser type deal. It doesn't have to complete your character's story. It's just an epilogue of what we see. You know, you take it where you want. I just want you to have some narrative authority. And if you feel like you need to check in with another player character, that's totally cool too. Or another player. Checking another player character, that'd be a little odd. So who would like to go first with an epilogue?
I have an idea for a start of one, but it kind of just completely depends on everybody else. So can I like start an epilogue and then let everybody weigh in and then finish it? Yeah, so I think because we represented ourselves as like, oh, we're from the Rebel Alliance, these guys contact the Rebel Alliance and mention us. And I think like someone actually from the Rebel Alliance, gets in touch with us and is like, hey, good job. Do you want to actually work for us?
Oh, that's really cool. That sounds cool. I love that starter. Who would like to pick up the next?
I missed a little bit of it. Oh, who is going to work for us?
Oh, so did you want to cue it up again, Bethany?
Yeah, so I think the Rebel Alliance kind of offers us a job, like as a not really changing what we do, but doing it for them.
Okay, thanks. Sorry about that. It just stuttered a little bit there.
Yeah. What if there's, are you thinking of like we get hailed by Mothra or whatever her name is, or someone like that in the Alliance?
Yeah, somebody, and because we sort of pretended to be them, and the I think someone that we have somebody from one of these groups that we were just dealing with actually contacted the Rebel Alliance and happened to mention us.
Right. Maybe it's not someone high up like that. Maybe it's like a go.
No, I don't think it's anybody super high.
Yeah. If you guys don't mind, just so I can kind of tie back into something from before, it's Leda Mothma, who's like a college-age daughter of Mon Mothma that a group had to save because they found out who she was. Blew her cover, so she had to go all in with the rebellion, and so now she acts as a go-between and recruiter. So
awesome.
She reaches out to you guys and says, we're really offended that you pretended to be the rebellion. So we need to make it official.
Love it.
Cool. Who would like to do the next epilogue?
So I think it's a scene in the engine room of the Nerf Herder. And there's this very quiet, the engine's been retooled and is actually a lot quieter. And so you hear subtly the beginning of that lost Rhodian opera as it begins to swell. And it's finally been fully decrypted, and like parts that were kind of glitchy before are fully fleshed out. And it's gorgeous. It's beautiful. It's that high, twirling, weird noises that only Rhodians can make. And as the camera keeps panning out, Zop is just very peacefully swaying. And then up on the wall where Zop sort of keeps little trophies from every one of his bounties, there's very obviously Ricky's bounty hunter creds, and possibly like Ricky's blaster has been mounted up there because Zop couldn't let Ricky out there and telling about how Zop is collecting all the bounties on his own crew. So had to turn her in, had to find some way to frame her.
Wow, that's awesome and terrible. I love it.
Of course, the opera's about like treachery. It's they're singing about the grand treachery of some ancient Rhodian something.
That's great. That's really good. Now we know the fate of Ricky Ooze. Who's next?
I have a scene. I'm not exactly sure. This probably happens like after the Return of the Jedi movie ends, so in a bit of the future.
Okay, sure.
Where I kind of feel like it's like a few like short scenes in sequence, and you hear this 404 beep, and like the space, like the screen is black, and you hear Buza respond, "That's right, 404. We're going to the oven system." Yes, and you see like the gas giant and all that stuff, and it's still in the nerf herder, but the nerf herder is like landed, and Uza's dressed like what you would expect more of a Jedi. Like he's not hiding it anymore. He's not wearing just that spacesuit, and but it's a little bit like punky in a way. Like there's like kind of like what he was doing in 4.4, where he put like the stickers of all the destinations. Like he's sewn in patches and things of the people that he's interacted with. Like he wants to remember all of the communities that he's been working with, and because he feels like that's an important part of being a Jedi now, is not the glory and the aloofness and we know all that's right, but like really putting the needs of them before yourself. So he's the last one that the camera probably pans down on is like the Rutani Sonali people. Like he has one patch, but like stitched together from two separate patches. And I feel like he's on the ramp with and he's saying goodbye to 404. And I feel like he said goodbye to other crew, but I feel like Quake would be there. If that works for you, Sabine.
Sure.
Yeah. And he's like, thank you for everything that you've done on behalf of the Jedi Order, for myself. I want you to know that your loyalty, your assistance has been... someone's outside working in our house and it sounded like they broke something. Anyways, and that you deserve your own life. You deserve to find your own way. You have served the galaxy. I want you to find your way.
Oh, you're still muted, Sabine.
I think you see that Quake is fighting tears, or maybe not very successfully even, and he will hold out his hand and shake your hand and say, "You were the most inspiring Jedi I've ever met."
Oh, Buza just like pulls him in for like a hug.
Yeah.
He's like, you were like the father that I never knew.
Yeah, and Quake's just holding him in this hug and then releasing him and saying, "Good luck."
Yep, and I feel like, yeah.
I think the Force has more plan. I think the Force will guide you. Or may the Force be with you.
There you go.
May
Yep.
the Force be with you.
And yeah, and Buza is just sort of, he's kind of tearing up too, and he'll wave goodbye and head off to go meet up with the rebellion.
Cool.
Nice. Very cool. Oh, Jason, you gotta go for it.
I've got an idea. And it includes Val if she signs off on this. But it would be a little bit forward in time from the rebellion having made their offer. Mm-hmm. And I see them walking through this like crowded, junky, like it's nighttime, whatever this planet side thing is, and doing this thing where like Ari is just like way too fancy for this place. And Val, maybe even like Zop is there, trying to look like a bodyguard, and Ariana's saying to them like, okay, so look, the rebellion needs ships. I've looked around. This guy knows ships, and I know Sabak. Maybe even get to see a little bit of the Sabac room with somebody recognizable playing cards, if that's all right with everyone.
Nice.
Yeah, that sounds great. Oh, that's good. That's good. Cool. We are nearly done. See a last epilogue. Sabine, did you want to do one?
Oh yeah,
something for quick?
yeah, just a quick vignette, because this is clearly after he said goodbye to Buza, and we see that Quake is on Rutan again, and he walks into this little place that we were at first, this cafe or whatever it was, this cantina, and he just walks in, he looks around, and then there is this Twi'lek woman whose name is Oktuna, and he will just look at her, and she will you just see these looks. He looks at her, and he looks kind of actually like he feels like he's come to a place where he can stay. And Oktuna, she just looks at him and smiles. She doesn't know anything. It's just like she's happy to see a friendly face.
Nice. And of course, Oktuna's son, Quake, is maybe around at some point, and we see a picture of the two of them meeting for the first time. That is it. And then, of course, we have the sweeping John Williams score come in. Right, everybody had. It was like I tracked everybody. Everybody had theirs, right?
I thought Val had a follow up.
I feel like Val does with.
Okay, yeah, Val had a setup, and then what's the payoff? So sorry.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think what does happen is that, like, at first, Val's like, no, we want to stay independent. But over the next few months, like, they get more and more business from the New Republic, or not the New Republic, before it's the New Republic, the Rebel Alliance, and less from everybody else. So, like, eventually they're kind of like, yeah, all right, we're working for the Rebel Alliance. But I think the scene after all this, like, is after dropping Quake off, the only two left on the ship are, I guess, Val and Arianya, or maybe Zap. I don't. And I think they go to Bespin Fuels and, like, pay off the nerf herder.
Nice. Oh, that's so good. I like that. Paying off the nerf herder, Bespin Fuels. That is even better. That's really good. A 404 epilogue.
What is the 404 epilogue?
I think Zop fits 404 with a like a stun blaster, but not set to full stun. Just moderately annoying stun.
Stinger.
Stinger.
Yeah, a stinger. That's at least a little bit of the epilogue for 404 I want. Yeah.
And I feel like there's been an upgrade on at least, like, one of its legs looks like it's from a legit astromech.
Yeah.
Nice. And I think the last thing we see is for 404's epilogue is we have that little kind of dial-in thing that you can use to and 404 is going through, you see on the little data pane display, going through a bunch of schematics for the rock stomper that he's cobbled together and kind of reconstituted. And then he says, "Would you like to complete this order?" And then he hovers over and he clicks on send. So he's ordering himself a body. And that will bring our session to a close. That is the end of our 3-shot, which went many ways that I did anticipate and really adore that. That is what I love about great players and collaborative play. If you guys have a few minutes, I know it's going to keep us over just a bit, but I'd love to do a quick Roses and Thorns, just talking about the whole Impulse Drive story, anything that you guys have from feedback for the system or the integration of taking Impulse Drive and bringing it into Star Wars, or just the story that we told and the idea of like tying it to the loose time frame of the movies, how that works, or if there are any potential like weird bits that you guys anticipate as I roll into 2019. We'll start with thorns because we always like to get those thorns out of the way so that we can smell the roses as we end up. Thorns, any aspect of the game that was confusing, critical feedback, wishes that you would have liked to see, missed opportunities, anything along those lines. Who would like to go first with thorns?
Well, I could go first. First thorn is that I would have loved to play longer with you guys, with all of you, and with the nerf herder. And I think I would have loved to have a scene between Saab and Booza in the epilogue, because that was unresolved.
Fan fiction.
True.
Fan fiction.
Yeah, fan fiction. Yeah, that's what. Right. Yeah.
Oh, good. Thank you so much,
that's
Sabine.
that's about it.
Good. Who would like to do the next set of thorns?
My thorn for the system is that Lean on Me lacks, when you get 3 choices or 2 choices or 1 choice, there's a very obvious pick for I get 1. There's a very obvious pick for you get 2. And then 3 is not really, you're not picking from the list, you're just getting all of them. That's my only one for the system itself. Like if you only get 1, obviously I'm going to give advantage. They're different. They're all very obvious levels of how good this result is. And then Thorn, yeah, I'd like to play longer. That's an easy one though. It's not really. I think that's it. I think that's really
okay. And again, if someone says something in Sparks thing and you want to jump in and say, yeah, that me too, ditto kind of deal, then you totally can. Thank you, Greg. Who's next?
I'll oh, sorry. Go ahead, Dave.
Go ahead, Jason.
Okay. I actually was going to say the exact same thing about Lean on Me, so ditto on that. Also, kind of thorn for the system. Like all these playbooks have all these cool moves, and you don't get any of them until you get 5 bad rolls, and then I don't know. There's a bunch of cool stuff in there, and there's a bit of a barrier to grabbing them.
That's interesting. Like that almost feels like a thorn you could apply to any PbtA game.
Well,
does it feel more present here because you don't choose any? Like you only choose 1 move, or I'm curious what. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm curious what you mean.
Well, I mean, in other games, it's like at character creation, pick 2 moves, or pick this many. And maybe I read this wrong, but I think with Impulse Drive, you don't pick any moves.
No, you pick one of the 2 career moves. Like you could have got Master Thief or crap, I can't remember. But yeah, there's a limit. Yeah. You choose one of 2 moves. It's not like you get the whole list of it. It's like, do you want this one or do you want this one?
Right.
And for you, it's either License to Kill or Master Thief, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, and I liked that choice. I've got a whole page of other moves that I feel like, in I don't know, Monster of the Week, I would come in and pick like 2 or 3 of these things that might include.
No, I get you. That you help me kind of define, and I'm totally in the same wavelength as you.
And that's only a thorn because these moves are really cool, So that's all really. And then yes, this should be 7 seasons and a movie. So that's my other one.
I just noticed that there is a Warhorse move, Adrenaline Rush, that isn't on this template.
Oh,
Google Doc.
Crap. Okay, I will fix that for the next time I run this, because I really, really like this. My roses, I love Impulse Drive in Star Wars. It's great. But yeah, I'll need to do that. Thank you for that heads up. It might be a new move from 3.8 that I missed when I was doing the check of, because this was something from a while back before 3.8 was out. I'll check. I'll make a note.
I agree on the lean on me. But I think like I think it should be a little more of a dilemma which ones to pick, and maybe have 4 options, so you still have to leave one out when you roll a 10 plus. I do like the pick one and tell how it goes wrong option for the 6-. I really like. I think that's cool. But yeah, I don't know. Somehow I think there should still be like that dilemma, like not one obvious option. Or you get all 3 and you don't have to make a choice at all.
Yeah. What else, Bethany?
Yeah, I'm kind of on the same way. Like, I don't think 3 sessions gave us a lot of opportunity. Like, I think this, I think I said it last time, is that this game is not a 3-session game. Because like you never actually reach any of the calamities, and you don't end up getting to use most of the moves. But I mean, I think what we did get to use was a lot of fun, and I think it's a really good match for Star Wars. So like, it's not that much of a thorn.
Yeah, fair. I agree. I think if I had to do over again, I might have said every session I'm going to give it, like we start with 2 more stress than you had before, and it's your choice if you want to lean on me to take it away, which probably would have given more oomph.
Oh, that would be
lean on
good,
me.
yeah.
And then maybe like amp up the XP as well, and just kind of give an advance at the end of every session instead of having to do. I do like cliffhanger. Like I think it's neat as a question thing, but in a 3-session thing, if I had to do over again, I'd probably all you guys kind of feel out and do cool moves and stuff like that. Might have been that was how I would have taken it.
Yeah, that would be a really good way to make it good for a short campaign. Is like you start out with a bunch of stress and a bunch of XP already.
Yeah, in fact, the quick starts, I believe everybody starts with a couple stress automatically.
Cool.
Yeah, it's really good. Thank you, Bethany. David, you are last.
Yep. So I feel like to kind of repeat what other people have said for the lean on me, I like that if you miss on a lean on me, it's not like a worst, nothing happens. So I like that. I feel like the partial success should have a less certainty, but still give you something. And I also agree on that one to not just give you absolutely everything in the 10 plus. One thing I couldn't find for a move was to make or improve something, like a mechanical thing. And there's probably is a move for that, just may not be available.
Yeah, I think that's nested in one of the.
I think that's personal project.
Yeah, that's it. It's
Okay.
Project. There you go.
Yeah,
it's open to everybody, if I remember correctly, right?
Okay. Then that's the thing that I would think about more.
I need to make sure and kind of listen to people who are saying that I want to do a thing, like I want to do an upgrade, that kind of stuff, so that I can kind of put those personal projects out there for folks to fill in.
It's really long term though, in the movie it's written. It's almost like the Wizard's Ritual in Dungeon World, in that you sort of set up what you want to accomplish, and then you work with the Space Master. Little rose for the Space Master.
Yeah, it didn't seem like something that you could do quickly, like jury rig something or things like that. So I was looking to do something in the background, but I was like, oh, it's not a big deal. The third thing was, I feel like getting to the calamities quicker, and we've all talked about this already, would help us to explore what that means. Mm-hmm. But some of them are pretty large in scope as well, like Galactic. So I don't know. I do agree with making it easier or quicker to get to some of those things, but also like how much impact are you going to have, or how much engagement with some of those calamities if you do have them in a short number of sessions.
Right. Yeah, because they really shift. A couple of them will be like, well, this is a Titanic and climactic change. And some of them aren't necessarily very Star Warsy, which is fun because it's our Star Wars when we play it, but it's weird.
Yeah, but I do really, really enjoy the system, and I'm looking forward to playing it in the future or running it possibly as well. I've really have liked it.
Cool. Yeah. I agree. So we will now roll over to roses, and I do that in snake order. So David, you get to lead us off in roses. At a boys, at a girls, at a way to goes, and things you really enjoyed, aspects of the game that you'll
Right.
remember from.
All of the NPCs I felt were alive, and the world and your enthusiasm continues for Star Wars, and all the players. I think it was just a very good chemistry, very, very good time. We're building off of each other, working with the system. I felt was good, especially after the first session. We got to know it better. Yeah, there were a lot of really fun or exciting moments in the game, and a lot of potential things to follow up with, if whether this was a movie or whatever. So just really enjoyed it, and I like how the characters evolved with the tensions, and even when literally characters were at each other's throats, felt that the subtext carried through very nicely. I really liked how those conflicts actually developed the characters rather than just being I hit you back. So well done by everybody, Space Master and players. So I have too many things to say good about this, so I'll shut up.
Oh, thanks, David. Bethany, what roses did you have to hand out?
Wow. Okay. Yeah. I also don't have too many good things to say. I really like that everybody kind of had a different, wild idea of what to do. And they were all very in character. Booza, let's make peace. Quake, let's shoot everybody. That was perfect. And let's see. I guess there was so much going on in the background with the various bounties and bounty hunters, and that I'm kind of sorry we didn't get to see, but it kind of made the whole story richer. All of this is going on when job is happening. Everybody's also scheming. So I think everybody played that really well, and just I don't know. I really liked all these characters. I would totally watch a show about them.
Yeah, I feel like the legend of Val, she's kicked danger away. She stood in line of fire. I feel like that's going to be exaggerated. So it's instead of this little battle robot, it's an AT-AT, like Skywalker in the Last Jedi. Just the story gets bigger and bigger, and Val becomes this enormous legendary figure.
Yeah, I said it in chat. I'll say it out loud. Val is the Jean Lafitte of the rebellion. It just keeps doing smuggler stuff and I'll do one more job for you, but I'm not part of your stupid rebellion. Oh, that's good. That's good. Thank you so much, Bethany. Jason, what roses did you have?
All of them. I really liked the characterization, particularly between character names, Booza and the clone trooper and the Jedi. Blanking for some reason.
Quake.
Quake. Thank you. Yeah. That relationship was it could have just been kind of glossed over, but there was actually a lot of depth and meatiness to it that was that also didn't then take over and stomp on everyone else's story. It was just that perfect balance, and then also getting to do the tie-ins, having Zop and Val and Ares kind of relationship with them, and it's really all player roses there. And then Rich, I've said this about you before, and I noticed it again, being in another of your games, that your ability to pass the spotlight, not necessarily just like like a clock where it's perfectly even, but like at the right moment is legendary.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's really cool to see how you like your feel for like, okay, this is at a good spot, and this is who we should check in with next is really fun to watch. As a system, I think Impulse Drive is really good. I really want to run it in. I want to try and do like the Expanse, and do something in that. I don't know where some of the weird stuff would fit in, but depending on where you are in the books, it might work. So yeah, I don't know. It's just really sparked a lot of ideas, which is I think the hallmark of a good system.
Yeah, I agree.
That's all.
Awesome. Thank you, Jason. Greg.
So Zop Books is probably the first Star Wars Saturday character that I really want to bring back in another iteration. That's thanks in a large part to all of you consistently hitting all of these hooks. The system is great in that it sets that all up, but the system is only as good as the players who are actively engaging with it. And every single one of us was all over the hooks at every chance we could, just digging in and, oh, wait, we have to bring this back. And yeah, fantastic. I loved it. And all of the epilogues were absolutely beautiful. I'm just like everyone else, a little sad that we can't keep going on this particular group of characters, but I felt that we all really brought it together there at the end, even for little 404, who I'm also considering, like, how could I get 404 as a character in another thing? So yeah, I absolutely loved it. I had an absolute blast playing with every single one of you. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Thank you, Greg. Sabine, bring us home.
Yeah, I agree with everybody else because that makes it a lot easier for me. What I also felt that we had a lot of content. There was lots of things going on, and it never felt rushed. You never had the feeling like, oh, and they had to put this in and this and this, and it was very organic. It was really lovely. And my last rose will go to Greg for the 404 noises and the Rhodian voice. That was just so amazing. I mean, wow.
The Korg DS10 for the DS is a small modular synthesizer that you can run on your DS. It's quite a powerful little program. It's a blast.
I have one more rose, if that's okay. Sabine, are you done? I don't want to stop.
Yeah, I'm done. Go ahead.
Okay.
No, go ahead.
I just want to say this out, not just because we're part of the Gauntlet community, but I also want to just highlight not just the players, but the characters were very positive in the game. And I felt like that part of Star Wars is really important to the spirit of the setting, the genre. I felt like even though our characters were kind of scoundrels, like the talk between Ari and Val, there were like the personal conversations and relationships I felt were very positive, even when things were dangerous. So I just want to say that was really nice to see in all of the players and the GM. So thank you.
Yeah, that was something I wanted to say. I forgot until you reminded me, but I really loved that we were the good guys in the end, and that we were really invested. Everybody was like, ugh, Empire, bad. No, we have to save people, and genocide is evil. That was really, really lovely.
I gotta say,
I did really like camaraderie.
Yeah, I put it out there, and I was like, this is a thing of genocide. I'm not sure what they're going to do with it. I have a feeling, like I have a suspicion, but I wasn't committed to your answer. I offered the problem, not the solution, and I was delighted by the solution. It went way farther than I ever anticipated. Like, I thought it was entirely likely that you guys would just try to reprogram the droid to kill a bunch of Imperials and go out in a blaze of glory. I didn't know. And this was the best possible answer. I really loved it. I just want to say I love the evolution of this crew as we got we saw the first glimpse, right, of the three in their first session, And to analogy, and I won't take too long, but like Quake is kind of the like stepdad, right? He's come from a dark past, and he's got this kind of stepson to take care of, and Booza, but Booza's kind of an adult, but they're still negotiating stuff. And then there's this like, no, maybe Booza isn't his stepson, maybe his actual legit daughter is Val, because there's definitely like a father-daughter thing going on there. And then we get to know Anya, and Arianya's like this lost sister thing going on. And then like the crazy uncle is Zob. Like Zob is definitely like the crazy uncle who's got the dark past, but he's kind of there for you when you need him, but he's not going to tell you about it. And that was just, I loved it. I love this crew. You guys did such a great job of developing and cultivating hooks and kind of tapping those things without ever making feel like it was boring. It was always interesting and refreshing. It was always a point of view. It was always an interaction that felt motivated and made sense to me. This was brilliant. I also wish that we weren't butting up against the holiday that kills all campaigns and most games, and I was afraid of it, which is why I only scheduled 3 sessions. So that's specifically what it is, and I rue the day that I didn't schedule out a game for next Saturday with you guys. But people have plans, and it is the holiday, and that's important as well. Thank you all so much for participating in Star Wars Saturday's Impulse Drive, and I hope that we get to continue gaming in 2019. You guys will sign up for future games because you're all pretty awesome. Have a good rest of your Saturday, guys, and happy holidays.
May the Force be with you.
May the Force
Thanks,
be with you.
everybody.
Yeah.